Welcome into the Hive as the Huntsville Hornets are hosting their first ever playoff game in the beautiful Huntsville ISD Stadium. They look to advance to the area round in back-to-back seasons. Howdy, everyone. Welcome in here on the Huntsville Hornet Broadcast Network. Nick Savage filling in for Carlos Zimmermann. Carlos on the road this week, so had to call an audible and get the crew in here. I'm joined alongside me. It's Houston Hardcastle. Houston, you're normally down on the sidelines. You might want to be down there tonight, but we plucked you up here, and you're going to be up here in the booth with me, helping me out, so I appreciate it and looking forward to this one.
Yeah, of course. You know, Huntsville coming back. It's always exciting to be able to host a playoff game, especially in a beautiful stadium like this. Hornet football is back in the playoffs. This is great for the community. It's good that they get to host a playoff game with some matchups that happened up last week. So it's an exciting time. It should be a good one here in Huntsville.
Crowd already filling in here about 40 minutes ahead of kickoff at Huntsville ISD Stadium. Hornets finished up the regular season last week with a 42-12 win over Splendora. It was here in Huntsville. You know, Houston, I'll pick your brain a little bit about it. I got to watch it on the replay, but you were here live. You got to take it in. It was the home fans' first look at Zay Adolph at quarterback. What'd you see from him? Obviously, really productive when he uses his legs. Maybe some, you know, you like what you saw out of his arm. Just take me through what you saw from the freshman quarterback.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Zay Adolph, you know, kind of a young guy. He's only 14 years old starting at a varsity quarterback. Anytime you've got to step in and fill in a guy's shoes like Austin Taylor, there's going to be big expectations behind it. You know, the Hornets came into this season with a lot of expectations. They make a deep playoff run last year, and then your starting quarterback goes down. So now the entire community, the entire town of Huntsville rests on the shoulder of Zay Adolph, and I was impressed. He looked really good in the win against Niederville as well. He had some beautiful passes, especially to Savion Conte. Just put it on a rope, let the receiver go up and get it. And so I think they are going to let him use his legs tonight, but I also think it is important. Give your freshman quarterback some confidence. Let him air it out a couple times. But I like what I saw from Zay Adolph, and I think he can take this team a long way.
This is the Charlie's Used Cars pregame show. By-district round matchup here tonight. Huntsville in the playoffs for the third straight season. Whitehouse also in the playoffs for the third straight year in a row. Obviously, the Hornets made a deep run last year. They'll look to replicate that and get even further is the goal, obviously. So just, you know, your first impressions from this Whitehouse team. We'll break them down a little bit more later on in the Charlie's Used Cars pregame show, but just initial thoughts watching them here warm up tonight.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And don't get it wrong, this is a good football team. They may have snatched up that last, playoff seeding spot in their district, District 7, but you have to remember, they're in a tough district. They're in a district with Texas, up in Texarkana. They're in a district with Marshall. They're in a district with Mount Pleasant. It was a slaughterhouse just for them to be able to get into the playoffs. Yep. And they played some of those teams really close. So this is a good football team. Don't let their record disguise you. You know, they're only 5-5 overall. They're 3-3 in district. So you come in here thinking you're going to get a big win. Those are the trap games that can really hurt the Hornets. So they need to be careful and take this as serious as they do any other matchup. And, you know, that's just the kind of culture head coach Rodney Southern has built here, a winning culture, deep playoff runs. He expects a lot out of his team, and I think we'll see a lot of that tonight.
Like you mentioned, Huntsville 5-5 on the year, 3-3 in district. They were third in District 5A, Division II, Region II, District 7 is where they are coming from. Out of Tyler, Texas, about 130 miles from here. Huntsville 7-3 on the year. They're 5-2 in District 8 here in 5A Division II, Region 2. Dominant wins all season long. If you look at the W's in the schedule, they're by a wide margin outside of maybe one or two games. The three losses come into some, impressive programs. One on the road to Lake Creek, you probably should have won, but historically that's a pretty good Lake Creek program. So, you can't kick yourself too much about it, but here in the playoffs overall, regular season, synopsis for you.
Yeah, absolutely. And, the Huntsville Hornets, they did have some tough losses, but you got to remember who they lost to, like you talked about. They're losing to the reigning state champions, Port Neches Groves Indian, and they only lost to them by 3 points. If a couple different plays go a couple different ways in that game, Huntsville walks out of that one. They could potentially be undefeated district champions right now, but you can't think about hypotheticals. You can't think about what ifs. This is where you This is where you are right now, and this is what is in front of you. This is what's been given to you, and this is a good Whitehouse football team that I think is playing with a lot of passion. You know, they kind of have a tough district. They kind of got beat up around in a couple of games, so they're coming out. They're going to play with fire. So Huntsville needs to be careful.
Absolutely. On the other side, here in the Charlie's Used Cars pregame show, you'll hear Southern talk. Coach Rodney Southern caught up with Carlos Zimmermann. You'll get to hear his voice just a little bit tonight, even though you're stuck with me. So a little bit of Carlos Zimmermann and what you really want to hear, Coach Rodney Southern on the other side here in the Charlie's Used Cars pregame show. This is the Hornet Nation Broadcast Network, powered by KSAM Sports.
Especially if we're throwing the football. So, well coached. The head coach is Kyle Westerberg, whose dad was Tom Westerberg, who was at Allen for all those years. So Kyle's been around football for a long time and took over that program, I think, 3 years ago. So he's done a really good job, and we're going to have to play really well.
You know, y'all are playing a freshman quarterback, but it seems like this team is hitting its stride, you know, towards this time of the year. Just, you know, what have you seen just from growth-wise and, you know, being able to play your best ball right now?
Well, I think, you know, execution is always critical when you go down the stretch. Knock on wood, other than Austin, we've been really fortunate in terms of injuries. I think the more reps Zay gets at quarterback now, the better he's going to get, because he's, you know, everybody can see how talented he is. Has really good vision. Of course, we've been repping as much as possible, you know, getting him more opportunities throwing the football. We all know how well he does in the run game, but I think the execution, I think this group of seniors that are experienced at this level, and I think all those combinations with a very minimal amount of injuries this year have created the situation we're in now.
Do you think it's going to be important to get the passing game going in this one?
Well, I think you gotta, you know, we gotta evolve a little bit every week in that, because we know there's going to be teams down the road, if we're fortunate enough to get there, that can line up and fill your box up and potentially play you straight man. So you've got to be able to throw it enough to keep them off of you. And you know, but we want to shorten games. We want to run the ball because we've been pretty good at it, and we don't want to put that added stress on our O-line to say you got a pass pro for, you know, 65 out of 80 snaps. So, but again, you know, as long as we can run the ball effectively, we're always going to have a chance.
Defensively, you guys have played at such an elite level all
all season long. I mean, what has just been the message to your defensive, to Omori and your defensive staff to keep them playing at such a high level?
Well, I think preparation has been critical. I think all our defensive guys are pretty experienced now, and all our defensive coaches are pretty experienced with us. So there's not a lot of questions as to what we're going to do and then why we're doing what we're doing. But I think the preparation from the kids has been incredible. And obviously, you look over there, you've got some guys, senior-wise, who have been through some battles here. You know, Shiloh being one, Braylon Phelps being one, Tyler Smith's another one, Zach Moss, guys that have kind of been through the fire. Some of them thrown in probably well before they should have been, but I think that combination, and then a guy like Bug, who is kind of a spiritual guy in terms of our leader. You know, Bug will tell you, here's what we're happening, here's what's going on. He and I were talking the other day about, you know, what's going to happen, and hopefully this run lasts for a long time. And you can just see it in their eyes that they're confident in what we're doing.
For Whitehouse offensively, which way they're going to lean more? Is it going to be more heavy run, or is it going to be just really that good mix that you've seen some
Well,
teams this year?
I think it's a mix. I think, you know, number 6 has been the quarterback the last couple games. They've got 2 running backs. Number 3 reminds me a lot of number 2 from Lake Creek, the guy who plays in the slot. But this kid's a running back. They've got number 8, who's a bigger type running back. Of course, they play both of them. Number 1, I think, is the best receiver they have. They've got a big H-back. They actually, on film, when you put them on, they look similar to us. They're going to probably have an H-back in the game the majority of the time. He's a big old kid. He's number 13. He's a lot like Jarius for us. So I think it's a mix. I think the thing they've got to do is, obviously, if 6 is the quarterback, which I'm assuming, or we are assuming he is, then, you know, we've got to get enough pressure on him and get him in long yardage, because I don't think they're comfortable there.
You know, Trayshawn's been kind of that key piece for this team. Just kind of what do you want to see from him in this one, in the run game, and kind of being able to get it going?
Well, just continue to do what he's doing. I think, you know, over the last 7 to 8 weeks, I think he is, obviously he's gotten better every week. His vision has gotten really, really good, which creates some of those, an 8-yard play becomes a 14-yard play, and you don't realize that till you look up and you've got 5 or 6 first downs. So he's got to be a vital part, but I think our other guys, you know, have got to help him there, and it also helps Zay when he can, if we're not 100% sure, hand the ball to Trayshawn, and hopefully he makes a play for us.
Is it hard to kind of not look ahead, knowing that there's a potential state team, in the next round?
Well, I told them Monday. We didn't bring them in Saturday because obviously we didn't know until late who we were actually playing. So, that was one of the first things I told them. Don't get caught up in, this is a week-to-week thing. It's a 0-0, and if you look too far ahead, you might be at home. So I think our kids are mature enough. I know our staff is to kind of be able to work through those things and handle it.
And last thing for me, Coach, kind of a twofold question. I mean, just how exciting is it for this community to be able to host a first-round playoff game and send this team off, hopefully, to the second round against a really good opponent, and then your keys to get it done?
Well, I think it's exciting for this community. Just, we're a full season through in our stadium. We've had really good crowds every home game. Even the other night, I was really pleased after the lightning delay how many people stayed and came back in the stadium. And obviously you want them to cheer for your kids, because these kids are doing everything we ask them to do, and they represent this community the right way. And it's exciting. It was exciting watching how fast our chairback seats sold when they opened up. So, and I think the keys for us, we've got to be very efficient offensively. And when we get the ball in the red zone, we got to score touchdowns. We've been pretty successful at that. We've got to be much better on third down. We were not very good on third down the other night, and I think keeping drives, obviously it keeps their offense on the sideline. Regardless of which quarterback plays, you got to go in and shut their run game down. Because if you can make a team one-dimensional, I don't think they want to throw it all the time. I think they really like the mix of their play-action game and their boot and waggle game with their run game. So, and then we need to make one big play in the special teams, and I think we do that sometimes with our kickoff team. You don't really recognize it, but you see when you can make a team. It's hard for a high school team to go 80 yards consistently because there's too many things that happen. So if we can get another big play in the special teams, I think those are the keys for us to win.
This has been Southern Talk with head coach Rodney Southern. Brought to you by Charlie's Used Cars. This is the Hornet Nation Broadcast Network, powered by KSAM Sports.
Tim Rushing here with Charlie's Used Cars. If you have not been by to see the great selection of quality pre-owned vehicles we have in stock, do yourself a favor and come see us at 230 I-45 South in Huntsville. Charlie's Used Cars is a family-owned and operated business serving the auto needs for 50 years with superior customer service. Besides quality vehicles, Charlie's also has a service center where we can help with your auto repair needs and routine service and state inspections. Come by and see us or visit us online at charliesusedcars.com. Charlie's Used Cars, 230 I-45 South in Huntsville. Come see us.
Hometown proud, Hornet strong. KSAM is your hometown radio station.
Welcome back out to Huntsville ISD Stadium. It's the Charlie's Used Cars pregame show. Nick Savage and Houston Hardcastle with you here inside the Frank's Taco Station broadcast booth. And Houston, let's talk about some of the storylines to watch tonight as the Huntsville Hornets get prepared to take on the Whitehouse Wildcats. Back-to-back weeks taking on Wildcats. Am I right about that?
Yeah, no doubt about it. It's an interesting dynamic for sure.
So, something I'm going to be keeping an eye on, and we hear Coach Rodney Southern talk about it there in the pregame interview, and also earlier this week on the coaches show. Just he's expecting more than one quarterback out of the Whitehouse Wildcats. Pretty sure they'll be seeing JoJo Adams, a sophomore, but Whitehouse has played 4 different QBs this season, whether it be due to necessity with injury or maybe performance, who knows, but just obviously got to watch more than one quarterback.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And that brings a lot on your defense. Your defense really needs to dial in and lock in. Think about the different scenarios that you may see. And I'm sure they're going over it all the week in the film room. I'm sure they're saying, if this guy's out there, here's what's most likely going to happen. If this guy's out here, here's what's going to happen. This is a very disciplined Hornet defense. They just need to be able to make that first initial tackle. That's something they've struggled with a little bit in the past, is making that first wrap-up tackle. As long as they can contain the QBs that are mobile with their legs, I think this should be a big Hornet win today.
Something else to watch out for, Zay Adolph, making his 3rd career start here, and it comes in the playoffs and probably in front of a sellout crowd or near that at least. I know the Huntsville faithful will sell their side out, Whitehouse side filling in pretty well. But, can Zay handle the pressure? We've seen him do it on the road in Nederland when he started his first career game, and that was with a lot of playoff implications on the line. And he performed. He got the win. He did what he needed to do. He's 2-0 as a starter, but do you think he'll be able to handle the pressure here tonight? Oh,
yeah. Like we talked about a little bit before, the entire community is behind this kid. I mean, every single coach on that sideline has complete confidence in him. Like we said before, when you have to step in and fill Austin Taylor's shoes, he leaves behind a big legacy. He's been a starter all 4 years at Huntsville High School, so he needs to come in and replace something like that. That is a little bit nerve-wracking, but I think Adolph is going to be able to handle that pressure immensely. He's shown it a few times this season. He put a big performance up against Nederland, so it should be a good win for him.
Something else you just mentioned, Huntsville kind of struggling with the initial tackle, especially when the opponents run the ball. Whitehouse have 3 ball carriers who are north of 50 carries on the season. The senior McLaughlin, JoJo Adams, who's the quarterback, he's got 64 carries from that position. And the junior Mosley there, 500, 400, and 600 yards respectively from all of them. 23 rushing touchdowns as a team, so they're going to run the ball heavily tonight. My question is, will this Hornet defense be able to stay sound in the run?
Yeah, and that's something they have struggled with all season. They struggled with it against Port Neches Grove. Port Neches Grove's running back probably had close to 150 total yards of offense in that game. And the big thing it comes down to is being able to fill those gaps and making that first initial contact and wrapping up. That's something the Hornets have struggled with a little bit this year. If they want to come out with a win here today, they need to wrap up initial contact and bring those running backs down, because a running back is never more dangerous than when he's in the open field. So if the Hornets can stay sound on defense, if they can stay disciplined, which they have been all season, they've just struggled with tackling a little bit. If they can manage to stay disciplined and stay out of their head, I think that they can handle any running back attack that Whitehouse may present to them.
A reminder, this is the Charlie's Used Cars pregame show. We are here inside the Frank's Taco Station broadcast booth, just about 22 minutes away from kickoff out at Huntsville ISD Stadium. Again, the first ever playoff game hosted here in Huntsville. It's going to be a fun night for you. Huntsville looking to advance to the area round. We actually know who they're going to be playing. South Oak Cliff. They played their game last night. They defeated. They defeated Terrell 52-14 last night. So again, they've moved on to the area round. Winner of this game gets the Bears in the next round. So we'll hit a break here inside the pregame show, and on the other side, we'll talk a little bit more about what we got going on here tonight. Kind of talk about Houston's keys to the game, and just break this one down a little bit more as we inch closer to kickoff here inside the Charlie's Used Cars pregame show. This is the Hornet Nation Broadcast Network, powered by KSAM Sports. Back inside the Charlie's Used Cars pregame show here. Nick Savage filling in for Carlos Zimmermann. Alongside me is Houston Hardcastle. Justin Hardcastle is our executive producer, and Michael Cedillo is our board op back at the KSAM studios. Houston, let's talk about some of your keys to this game tonight. I'll just hand it over to you. What are some keys you're watching?
Yeah, no doubt. And my keys to the game here, first off, defense, and more defense. I think that the defense of the Huntsville Hornets is really going to have to step up here tonight. This is the team that you can't let them get hot. You can't let them get any sort of momentum. Football, as we know, is a game of momentum. And if you get any of that swung towards their way, Whitehouse could potentially cause a lot of problems for the Hornets. So Hornets need a couple takeaways, maybe an interception, maybe a fumble, just whatever it is to get their offense off the field and really swing that momentum back to them. Next one is ride the legs of your running backs. Trayshawn Brown's got getaway speed. They've got David Brown in the backfield. They've got a trio of running backs in that backfield that they can rely on. You don't necessarily have to rely just on the legs of Adolph. Use your running backs that you have. Trayshawn Brown's been incredible all year. He's got breakaway speed. He makes one cut, and he goes straight to the end zone. And then have faith in your freshman QB. The entire community has to rally behind this guy. The coaching staff has to trust him. It's okay to be conservative in some moments, but I think every once in a while you need to let Adolph air it out. Just let him get a feel for the game. Let him get into his comfortable spots. Let him make comfortable, easy throws, and really get him in rhythm. And then finally, something that Huntsville has done good all season is creating pressure on the D-line. You get that quarterback under a little bit of pressure. You force him to make a throw on the run, and it's going to be a long night for Whitehouse if the Hornet D-line can penetrate and create a little bit of pressure, which they have been doing a very good job of all season. But if they continue it tonight, I think that it's going to be one of the major keys to this game.
I'll give you one, too. Again, we're going to mention it more than once tonight. The first playoff game here at Huntsville ISD Stadium is supposed to be a neutral site. You know, that's kind of the idea. They'll try, you know, with the graphics and stuff to make it as neutral as possible. But you're going to have the home crowd on your side, right? They don't have to travel very far. Whitehouse, a good contingent across the way. But these stands here already filling up. You know, last time for most of these guys probably to play in front of or at least the seniors, I should say, to play in front of, you know, their parents, their friends, some of these younger guys, last time they get to play at home for a long while till next season. So, you know, you got to make the most of it. You know you're going to have the crowd and the environment on their side. For this Whitehouse team, this might be, you know, one of the crazier environments that they've played in all season long. So, you know, Huntsville and the Hornet faithful got to take advantage of that definitely. Here inside the Charlie's Used Cars pregame show, we'll hit another break, and on the other side, we'll look around the out-of-town scoreboard, kind of pick and choose games across 6A, 5A, even 3 and 4A games that are catching our eyes all across the state of Texas here tonight. More on the other side here on the Charlie's Used Cars pregame show. This is the Hornet Nation Broadcast Network, powered by KSAM Sports. Back inside the pregame show out here at Huntsville ISD Stadium. That pregame show is brought to you by Charlie's Used Cars. And Houston, we're going to take a look around the out-of-town scoreboard and just, pick and choose some games across all these brackets that are catching our eyes. Some games already played last night, but some more going on tonight. And I'll let you kind of take it away if you want to start with some games you'll be watching.
Yeah, let's go around the district first. There's some interesting district matchups going on in Region 2, District 7, which is Huntsville's district. The Port Neches Groves Indians are going to host the Hallsville Bobcats. That game is set off for 7 p.m. kickoff at Indian Stadium. So another situation like this where they kind of get to inadvertently host a home playoff game. The Montgomery Bears taking on the Marshall Mavericks. Obviously, Marshall in the same district as Whitehouse. That game is 7 p.m. at Maverick Stadium. The Nederland Bulldogs taking on the Texarkana Texas High Tigers, the undefeated #1 in 5A Region 2 Texarkana Texas High Tigers. That game is scheduled for a 7 p.m. kickoff at Tiger Stadium. And those are the games in District 7 for tonight.
And some 6A action I'm keeping an eye on. Conroe's taking on Benjamin Davis. That game kicks off at 7 o'clock. The Woodlands facing down Nimitz. Another 7 o'clock kickoff. And Willis takes on Spring. Another 7 o'clock kickoff. Now 4A Division 2, Madisonville taking on Gatesville at Rockdale High School. Belleville played last night in my neck of the woods in Bryan, and Belleville won that ball game. 3A, some games we'll be watching there. Anderson Shiro will take on Troop at Crockett High School. Kicks at 7 p.m. Cold Spring Hearst fell to Troon last night. New Waverly faces New Diana at 7 o'clock tonight at the Tomato Bowl. That's over in Jacksonville, Texas. And some 5A action, again, my neck of the woods. College Station taking on Crosby at 7 p.m. in College Station, while A&M Consolidated faces Friendswood in Tigerland in the BCS. Those two schools on a bit of a collision course later on in the playoffs. That'll be a fun one to watch. But lots of fun high school football action. Before we move on from that, again, want to mention the game that's matched up with this one in the 5A Division 2 bracket here in Region 2, South Oak Cliff and Terrell. South Oak Cliff beat Terrell last night 52-14, so they await the winner of this one. And, turning our page back to tonight, Houston, Huntsville, and Whitehouse, about 10 minutes away from kickoff out at Huntsville ISD Stadium. Just what do you think these guys are feeling right now, jitters-wise? They know it's a big game, playoffs. I know Coach Southern's probably feeling the jitters too, but he probably won't show it. So just what do you think's going through their heads right now?
Well, it's just come out and play it like any other game. Like you talked about, it's huge being able to play a game at your own stadium. You don't always get blessed with, games playing out like that where you get to host a home playoff game. So I'm sure Coach Southern's telling his guys, hey, take advantage of this. This is just another game, just another week. Just go out there and play Hornet football. Come out with a win. Let's stick to our game plan. Let's not overthink it just because it is a playoff game. And let's just keep playing the brand of football that we've played all year. It's got us this far, so why deviate away from it now?
Absolutely. We'll hit a break here, and on the other side, we'll get to our Walker County Federal Credit Union countdown to kickoff. We'll give you the weather forecasts, give you the starting lineups. We'll set the scene for you, as it's going to be an electric night here at the Hive, Huntsville ISD Stadium. By district playoffs, the Huntsville Hornets, the Whitehouse Wildcats. This has been the Charlie's Used Car pregame show. Huntsville ISD Stadium, the Hive, getting ready for this bi-district matchup between your Huntsville Hornets and the Whitehouse Wildcats. This is the Walker County Federal Credit Union countdown to kickoff. Nick Savage filling in for Carlos Zimmermann alongside me, Houston Hardcastle. He comes up from the field up to the broadcast booth. Justin Hardcastle is our executive producer, and Michael Cedillo is our board op back at the KSAM studios. We're getting set here for a good one on a picture-perfect night out at Huntsville ISD Stadium. The moon as bright as can be in right in front of us, right over the visitor stands out at Huntsville ISD Stadium. Not a cloud in the sky. 65 degrees. Wind from the east at 5 miles per hour. 11 mile per hour wind gusts. That shouldn't affect Caleb Kulak, the strong-legged junior, on his field goal attempts and his extra point attempts, but we'll talk a little bit more about that as we move on. Let's set the scene here, Houston. Just again, this 5-5 Whitehouse team, we heard Coach Southern mention it, deceptive. Don't look at that record. It's a deceptive 5-5. This team can come in here and beat you. So what do you think the Hornets need to focus on here? Again, thinking that record, let's not focus on it.
Yeah. Coach Rodney Southern is definitely talking his guys up in that locker room, saying, trap, it's a trap. This is a trap game. This is the kind of game where you can't get too lax. You can't play down to your opponent's level. Huntsville knows that, and I know Coach Rodney Southern and that entire coaching staff is telling them in that locker room, play your brand of football. This is a team that you should beat, you are favored to beat, and that you should come out here and just be able to come out of here with a big win, especially in front of a home crowd. And so he's preaching that to his guys. He's telling them in that locker room, hey, we need to play our brand of football. It's gotten us this far into the playoffs. It's gotten us into the playoffs the past few years, so let's just keep playing that brand of football. Don't look down on these guys because they do have a worse record than us, and go out there and win.
Light show going on here at Huntsville ISD Stadium. Again, I'll never get over this. Really cool environment here for some Texas high school football. Coach Southern on Whitehouse, he mentioned all this on the Hornet Nation coaches show earlier this week with Carlos. Again, down to their fourth quarterback, he described him as a little guy, but he's an operator and he can run. Kind of similar to Zay Adolph, the freshman QB that Huntsville will see tonight. And defensively, they're multiple. They got 3 down linemen that they'll use a lot. Physically similar to the Hornets. Keys for Coach Southern: they got to play sound defense. They got to handle the pressure of the moment. They got to be ready for more than one quarterback. And don't be confused by the multiple looks. We'll hit another break here inside the Walker County Federal Credit Union countdown to kickoff. This is the Hornet Nation Broadcast Network, powered by KSAM Sports. Back inside the Walker County Federal Credit Union countdown to kickoff. Let's go through our starting lineups. We'll start with the visiting Whitehouse Wildcats. We'll start with their offense and go from there. Falu Nadai is on that offensive line, the sophomore, with Hayden Moore, the senior, Caleb Toombs, the junior, Price Bryan, and Jonathan Bush will round out that front 5 for the Wildcats. On the outside for them, the receiving core, Lane Hooker, the senior, Carter McLaughlin. He'll also play a little bit of running back. Zamaje Mosley will play a little receiver and running back as well. Cade Richardson, the senior wide receiver, and Hudson Barron, the tight end, on the outside. And for the we'll hit a break here, actually, as we're getting set for the national anthem out at Huntsville ISD Stadium. And on the other side of that, we'll get you the Hornets starting lineup. This is the Walker County Federal Credit Union countdown to kickoff, and this is the Hornet Nation Broadcast Network, powered by KSAM Sports.
Walker County Federal Credit Union is committed to offering top
And welcome into the Hive, Huntsville ISD Stadium by-district matchup between your Huntsville Hornets and the Whitehouse Wildcats, as Nick Savage is filling in for Carlos Zimmermann alongside me, Houston Hardcastle, up in the Frank's Taco Station broadcast booth. And we are all set for the Heritage Oak Funeral Home first quarter. As the Hornets won the toss, they defer. So that means the Whitehouse Wildcats will get the football to start this one off. Houston, final thoughts before we kick things off here tonight on a beautiful Friday night.
And it looks like Rodney Southern has full confidence in his defense. Anytime you win the toss and defer it, because you want to see what your defense looks like tonight. They're going to defer to the second half, so we're going to see that Hornet defense that we talked about a little bit in the pregame take the field first. Like I said, they got to create a turnover. If they create a turnover, get this crowd on their feet, I think it'll swing the momentum in their favor.
Caleb Kulak runs up to the football. He boots it away with his right foot, and we are underway out at Huntsville ISD Stadium. The Wildcats will take it out on the return. It's Julius Sims. He gets to the 20, and he's met by this Hornets special teams unit. And that's where this Wildcats offense will begin their first possession of the night.
A great open field tackle there on special teams by Jabari Washington. Just able to get in front of them. Doesn't let them get any more yards. Whitehouse is going to start this one on the 20-yard line.
And here comes the sophomore quarterback, JoJo Adams. Listed on the roster as a wide receiver, the fourth different quarterback Whitehouse has used this year. Sends a man in motion from left to right. Flag is down already, and we already have motion on the Wildcats. It's a false start.
Offense, number 51.
And that's on number 51, Fayu Nadai. And that backs him up 5 yards. That defense going to look like this for your Hornets. Zach Moss, Tyler Smith, Jaden Bradford, and Fred Ualdeli on that defensive line will get you the rest after this 1st and 15 play back from the Whitehouse 15. It's a screen pass out to the flat, and it is complete to Julius Sims after a gain of about 2. We'll set up the Wildcats with a second and about 13, I should say.
Yeah, just a little screen pass. Get your quarterback's arm going here for Whitehouse.
Whitehouse using tempo, handoff up the middle, and there are the Hornets. Not much on that one, maybe a yard if that. That's going to set up a 3rd and long here, and a chance for this defensive line to pin their ears back.
Yeah, just no running room there for the running back, Carter McClellan. Listed on their roster as a receiver as well, so Whitehouse really down to their backups here tonight.
3rd and 12 from the Whitehouse 18. Here's the snap, and it's a quarterback keeper the entire way. Adams is eventually going to fire it away, actually. Had a receiver on that far sideline, but he falls out of bounds, incomplete. And the Hornet defense gets a 3-and-out to start this by-district matchup off. Here comes the Whitehouse punt unit.
And great coverage there by the Hornets secondary, especially by Brent Carroll, the junior cornerback. He's been making plays all season there on the outside, able to force an incompletion there on the sideline. No foot down in bounds. Huntsville's going to get the ball back here.
Braylon Phelps back to receive. He stands at his own 45. Ashton Park stands at his own 5-yard line to punt this one away. Here's the snap, pressure off the edge, but Park gets it away. It's going to bounce in front of Phelps. He fields at his 45, and he gets up to the 50. He's got some blocks on that far side. Spun down at the 40 into Wildcat territory. Great field position for this Huntsville offense, and here comes Zay Adolph, the freshman, making his 3rd career start. We'll see how he handles it, Houston.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And it's going to be paramount for Zay Adolph to get in a rhythm here on this first drive. He needs to just make some easy completions, have some easy reads, really get him confident here in this game.
Adolph lines up in the shotgun. He'll have Trayshawn Brown to his right, 2 receivers to the near side, 1 to the far side. 1st and 10 from the Whitehouse 40. Here's the snap. Adolph hands off to Brown. Brown looks to bounce it off the left side. He gets past the 30, or past, the 35, down to the 30, and will eventually be marked out of bounds at the 26-yard line is where they're officially going to mark him. A good gain there, and that is a Moke and Moke Attorneys at Law 1st down.
And there's that breakaway speed we highlighted by Trayshawn Brown in the pregame show. He makes one cut, makes one defender miss, and he's all of a sudden upfield. Great burst of speed there by Brown.
Hornets will go 5 wide here on a 1st and 10 from the Wildcat 25-yard line. Adolph motions Brown back into the backfield, and it's a keeper for Adolph. Adolph off the left side. He's at the 20 and out of bounds at the 17-yard line. A gain of 8 will set up second and manageable here for the Hornet offense.
And a heavy dose of the run here for the Hornets. They've been doing it all year. On a quarterback keeper there with Zay Adolph. Good blocking there by the Hornets offensive line, opening up a gap there for Adolph to run through. Almost a first down for the Hornets. Second and short, just got to go pick it up here.
First trip for the Hornets inside the Murray Insurance and Financial Services red zone. 2nd and 2 from the 17. Adolph in the gun, Brown to his right. 3 receivers in the formation. It's a give to Brown. He'll take it up the middle. He's got all the room he needs. Powers his way into the end zone. Touchdown Hornets. 6-0 with 10:08 left to play in the first. What a way to open the ball game.
And that's how it's done. That's the Hornet offense that we know and love. We've seen it all year. Ground and pound. Just give it to your best players in the offensive backfield, Zay Adolph and Trayshawn Brown. A heavy dose of them for Whitehouse. Gets the Hornets into the end zone for 6. And the crowd loves it.
17-yard touchdown run from Trayshawn Brown. And now the extra point upcoming from Caleb Kulak. And that's exactly what you got to do, Houston, with these playoff games, man. You got to give the crowd something to keep them in the game, to really power them up as the Caleb Kulak extra point is up and through. That splits the uprights. And that's brought to you by Nelson Amaya's Collision Center point after. We'll hit a break here at 7-0 Hornets over the Wildcats. This is the Hornet Nation Broadcast Network powered by KSAM Sports. Seven 0 10:08 left to play out at Huntsville ISD Stadium. The Hornets power their way into the end zone and open this ball game up. Defense gets a 3 and out. Offense punches it right in as Caleb Kulak and the Hornets kickoff unit back out to boot this one deep. Hornets white helmets with the H in green on their helmets. All black jerseys, black pants as well, as here's Kulak boots it deep. It'll be taken at the 5-yard line. That's Carter McLaughlin who takes it back to the middle of the field. He's at the 25, the 30. He's making a lot of men miss as he's finally wrapped up and brought down at the 36-yard line on the tackle there for the Hornets.
Yeah, and, kind of a bad way for the Hornets special team. You don't want to give Whitehouse any momentum, and a big kickoff return could swing a little bit back in their favor. Hornets got to be a little more disciplined on special teams there. You can't let a guy like McLaughlin break a bunch of tackles like that.
So here comes the Whitehouse offense, operating for the second time tonight. It's going to be a reverse end around here. Cade Richardson, the senior wide receiver, is undercut. Great stop made by that defense. Kenneth Scott III, the junior safety, coming up from the secondary to get the tackle. It'll be 2nd and 4 from the Whitehouse 42. They go quickly. JoJo Adams gives the ball up the middle, and another great stop by Kenneth Scott III. It's a TFL, the Hornets' first of the night, and now another 3rd and medium here for the Wildcat offense.
Man, you talk about a guy like Scott, man, he just plays that outside so well, doesn't he? Undercuts the running back, doesn't give him an opportunity to break the tackle. They tell you to go low in football, and Scott went about as low as you could there.
Hornet faithful gets into it. 3rd and 6 from the Whitehouse 40. Adams, play action, sets up a screen, complete, and plenty of running room for Julius Sims. He's in the middle of the field into Hornet territory and is finally wrapped up at the 40. A big gain there on 3rd down. And there is an injured Hornet, I believe, on the turf. Indeed, there is as he pops up. Looks to be favoring that left side just a little bit. That's Claudio Alvarenga as he makes his way off the field.
And yeah, we talked about being able to wrap up on first contact. Hornets did not do it there. The pass was complete to the Whitehouse wide receiver, and Hornets just unable to wrap up. And now, all of a sudden, Whitehouse is in your territory. They've got a little bit of momentum now. Hornets got to come up with a big stop here on first down.
Back to play here, 1st and 10 from the Huntsville 40. As Adams is in the gun, it's a straight quarterback power to the right side. He's tripped up by Kenneth Scott III after a gain of about 3. It'll set up 2nd and 7 from the 37. And again, tempo from Whitehouse. They're not wasting much time at all. Here's the snap as Adams looks to set up the screen, and it's not there. Great job by that defensive line of the Hornets to get in the backfield and make things uncomfortable. Zach Moss was there, Tyler Smith, Jaden Bradford, the whole crew.
Yeah, no doubt about it. We talk about that front 7 getting penetration. Obviously on a screen pass, Whitehouse is trying to make them think like they missed their blocks, but Hornets able to get in the face of JoJo Adams and force an incompletion. He's just not able to find anything. Big 3rd down here for the Huntsville Hornets.
3rd and 7 from the Huntsville 37. Adams in the gun, 3 receivers in the formation. A man to his left. That's Zamaje Mosley, the leading rusher on this squad. Mosley moves to his right now, an H-back flexed off the right side of the line. Whistle blows, and a timeout taken by head coach Kyle Westerberg over on that Whitehouse sideline. It's 7-0 Hornets, 8:34 left to play in the first quarter. That first Wisner of Huntsville touchdown was a 17-yard touchdown run from Trayshawn Brown. And that's where things sit right away. Houston, plenty of momentum for Huntsville. Outside of that big play by Whitehouse, not much doing for them offensively.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And the Hornets just need to remember that they got to make contact on first tackles, and they got to bring players down. You can't allow screens and short yardage plays to be turned into big ones. You can't allow receivers to feast off yards after catch or run after catch. You need to be able to bring them down on first contact. And Huntsville's looked good so far, just outside of that one play. Defense has looked really stout. They need to continue that play if they want to come out with a win here, though.
Absolutely, as two teams talk things over. Again, a big 3rd and 7 here already in this one. Wildcats need to answer the Hornets' opening drive touchdown. They went 3 and out in their first offensive possession, did the Wildcats, so looking for a little bit of positive to take away in this one. Here come the Wildcats out of the timeout. JoJo Adams, the sophomore, in the gun. Zamaje Mosley to his left. Here's a snap, and it's a misdirection with Mosley. Mosley, it gets back to the line of scrimmage and nothing more. He's met by Tyler Smith and Isaiah Lewis there to make the stop. It's 4th and 7 from the Huntsville 37.
And Whitehouse kind of in high school no man's land here. Can't really kick a field goal, can't really punt it. So it looks like head coach Kyle Westerberg is keeping his offense out there to go for it.
Looks like they'll go 5 wide as Adams will drop back into the shotgun. 3 receivers to the far side, 2 to the near side. Here's the snap, 4th and 7. Pressure immediately. Pass is incomplete. Turnover on downs. And that Huntsville defense 2 for 2 on getting those stops tonight.
Yeah, and great coverage downfield again. Nothing there for JoJo Adams. Forced to go short. Tried to throw it to Carter McLaughlin, see if he could maybe make a play after the catch. It's incomplete, and the Hornet offense is going to take over in another good field position.
They start this drive from their own 37. Started nearly at midfield their last possession. It's a little bit more ways to go for this potent offense. Zay Adolph making his 3rd career start. The freshman, will line up in the backfield all by himself. Man in motion, that's Trayshawn Brown from left to right. He's going to get the give on the jet sweep, and he's going to turn on the Jets all the way near midfield. And that's another Moke and Moke attorneys at law first down.
And that's a great play design there from Huntsville. Get your fastest guy, Trayshawn Brown, in motion, not just a handoff from the backfield. Let him get a little bit of momentum. He's a one-cut guy. He gets a little bit of open space, and his bursts of speed almost look video game-like. I mean, he is just a fast kid.
Savion Conte will come to the near side. Jabri Washington, the far side receiver. H-back flexed off the left side of the line. That's Jarius Singletary. And man in motion from right to left. It's a play action, or it's a read option as Zay Adolph will have the keeper. He powers forward for about 3 into Wildcat territory for the second time tonight. Sets up 2nd and 7 from their 48.
And Whitehouse not fooled by that one. Huntsville using a lot of motion, but the Whitehouse defense stayed disciplined there. Adolph tried to make something out of nothing, just could only get a measly 3 yards there.
2nd and 7 here. Adolph in the gun. Brown to his left. Here's a snap. It's a give to Brown up the middle. Brown bounces outside. He's at the 40, the 35, cut down around the 30. Another moke and attorneys at law, first down. And Brown is running loose early in this one.
Yeah, and Huntsville, like we talked about in the pregame show, ride the legs of your running back. You know what you have in Trayshawn Brown, David Brown, everyone who's in that backfield for the Hornets. And looks like that's their game plan right now. Zay Adolph yet to throw a pass.
And I like the contrasting styles here. Wildcats go quickly. Hornets kind of controlling the tempo of this one, taking their time, getting set up here. 15 on the play clock as they come and get set. Adolph in the shotgun. Brown to his right. And it's another, that is not Brown. That is another back. That's Jacavian Burks, a sophomore, who gets the carry. He powers forward for 5 inside the 30, down at the 28. It'll be 2nd and about 7.
Yeah, and obviously Trayshawn Brown a little bit worn out, been running all over the field tonight. Give Jacavian Burks credit. He is also one of another running back in that running back room who's able to come in, get some yardage for the Hornet offense. So good run there on first down, set up 2nd and medium.
2nd and 6 here from the 28. Snap, another give up the middle to Jacavian Brown, or Burks, and he takes it right side and gets past those sticks for another moke and moke. Attorneys at law, first down. He also gets inside the Murray Insurance and Financial Services red zone for the 2nd time tonight. 1 for 1 thus far with a touchdown on the board. It's 7-0 Hornets over the Wildcats with 6:05 left to play in the first quarter. By district matchup here, as the winner of this one will advance on to face South Oak Cliff next week. Hornets go into the gun. Zay Adolph gets a snap. He bobbles the snap, finally picks it up. His helmet gets ripped off back at the 30, and a wise decision by the young man there as he was staring down a Wildcat defense bearing down on him, and he didn't have a helmet, so he just took the knee, and that will back up the Hornets outside of the red zone, as that's going to cause Adolph to come out of the game. But, I mean, if that's...
Since his helmet came off, yeah. Since his helmet came off, he does have to come out for a play.
But I'm sure Coach Southern is saying, hey, that helmet was ripped off of him. That wasn't his fault. But you're right, that's the rule. He's got to come out for a play. So checking in for him, Trayshawn Brown. Most likely see a call out of the Wildcat here. As actually, I take that back. It's not Brown who will take the snap. It's Marcus Lewis, the junior. Brown will be to his left. Here's a snap. It's high, and it's a give to Brown. Brown is popped and will go backwards on the play. So a couple of negatives back-to-back here for the Hornets as they were set up inside the red zone at the 17-yard line. They're now back to the 33.
Yeah, and just a couple bad plays for the Hornets, a bad snap and then a TFL on kind of a delayed handoff there to Brown, just unable to make anything happen after breaking first contact. And the Hornets all of a sudden are staring down a 3rd and Odessa here.
Josh Stanley, Xavier Conte, Jabri Washington, and Trayshawn Brown, the receivers, as the Hornets go 5 wide. Zay Adolph takes the snap, drops back to pass. Will look deep toward the end zone, takes a far shot, wide open man, and incomplete, bobbled on the far side by Jabri Washington. A slight bobble there as Jabri could not haul that one in. Man, if only there were replay in high school football, that would have been close.
Yeah, and that was a close one. What a beautiful rainbow there, though, by Zay Adolph. Puts it right in the hands of Washington. Just unable to complete the catch. Referee over there, side judge, must have seen something different than us. It looked like he may have gotten a bit of possession, but refs rule it incomplete. And like you said, there is no replay in high school football. Whatever the officials say goes. Hornets are forced to punt on their second offensive drive.
On the stream, oh man, he just bobbled it as his right foot was down. As here's the punt, it's going to be blocked by Whitehouse. No one in the back to slow down that special teams unit. Thankfully, that first lineman who got to the football did not recover it cleanly, so the Whitehouse Wildcats fall on it, and that's a blocked punt.
Yeah, and here, all of a sudden, Whitehouse gets a couple of good plays on defense, has a couple of TFLs, bad snap by the Hornets, and all of a sudden, they're in the Huntsville 50. We talk about football being a game of momentum. You can definitely feel it shifting a little bit towards Whitehouse right now. Huntsville needs to come up big here.
Nick Savage and Houston Hardcastle here with you inside the Frank's Taco Station broadcast booth. Wildcats will start with it at the 50. They try to set up a screen pass, and a huge stop by Brent Carroll, the junior safety, gets a TFL. They'll lose about 4 back into their own territory to their 46. It'll be 2nd and 14.
And Brent Carroll just plays that outside so well. He immediately recognizes where the pass is going and instantly brings the running back down, giving him no opportunity to get any run after the catch. Great tackle there by the Hornets defense.
Hornets leading 7-0 here in the first quarter. 4 minutes left to play. Here's the 2nd and 14. It's a keeper for Joe Adams. He takes it up the middle, gets past the original line of scrimmage and into Hornets territory. They'll mark him down at the 48. And another 3rd and long here. We've seen the Wildcats face down a few of these tonight. We'll see how they fare with this one.
Yeah, and Huntsville's defense, you can kind of feel the momentum shifting towards Whitehouse a little bit. It would be big for the defense to come up with a big play here.
Tight formation here for the Wildcats. Play action pass for Adams. Adams feels the pressure, slings it to the flat here, and it's complete to Carter McLaughlin, but the Hornets swarm and push him out of bounds for a loss of about 2, back to the 50. And kind of no man's land, but is this the punt unit coming out? Indeed it is. The Wildcats will boot it away.
And great play recognition there again by Scott and McCork Norman there on the outside. McCork Norman, the senior linebacker, instantly recognizing the play, able to really trap the running back, forcing him to really just kind of go down and on first contact, giving him no space to operate. Great play there by the Hornets defense, forces a Whitehouse punt.
Braylon Phelps stands at his own 15 to return this one, but I think this one was tipped by the Huntsville unit, special teams unit, as that one came out all kinds of wonky.
Looks like Twine may have gotten a hand on it there. Initially didn't look like he did, but
Jamarian Twine coming up big, diving full extension to tip that one with his right hand. Sets up his offense at the 25. That one did get a Whitehouse roll near the end of it, so 75 yards to go for this Huntsville offense. The Hornets leading 7-0 here in this bi-district matchup. First round in the 5A Division II Region 2 side of the bracket. Here's the snap for Zay Adolph. It's a give to Trayshawn Brown. Brown through the tackles and past the sticks for Moke and Moke Attorneys at Law. First down, he's marked down at the 39. A big, powerful run from the junior running back.
And he's just so smart in the backfield. You can see him analyzing the play really before he makes that first contact. And Brown just able to find a little bit of a gap in the defense and get a great run there on first down.
Brown already with a touchdown earlier in this one. 17 yards out, he punched it in. That's our lone scorer in this ball game. 1st and 10 from the Huntsville 39. Here's the snap. Adolph winds up, fires complete to the far side. And being spun down is Savion Conte. Or pardon me, that is not Savion Conte. That's Hunter Lorenz, the senior on that far side. Completed for a gain of about 8. 2nd and 2 here.
And great play there by head coach Rodney Southern to get your guy in rhythm. Just get a little short pass out there, get 7-8 yards. He just goes out, runs a little bit of an out route, does Hunter Lorenz, gets a nice gain on first down, set up 2nd and short. Now you can really be creative with the playbook here.
Conte, Stanley, Lorenz on that far side, and now a man in motion. That's Jerry Singletary, the tight end, as this one is a carry to the left side. It's a give to Brown, and Brown once again powers forward. The ball came out, but I believe he was already down when the ball did pop out. That's another Moke and Moke Attorneys at Law first down, as it'll be at the 40-yard line into Wildcat territory.
And like we said, Huntsville could have opened up the playbook there, decided to just go with the simple run to Trayshawn Brown. Sometimes the simple things in life work. Trayshawn Brown gets a big run there on 2nd down and going to bring up the first play in Whitehouse territory on this drive.
Josh Stanley goes to that far side. He's the widest wide receiver on the far side of the formation. Adolph in the gun. Brown to his right. Here's a snap. Play action, and it's a keeper for Adolph. Adolph at the 35, powers forward for a gain of about 5. Flag comes in, though. Might be a hold here on the Hornets.
The call here from the white hat, initially signaling that it might be on Huntsville.
Holding, offense, number 28, 10-yard penalty.
That one is going to be on
Replay,
Jarius Singletary, the junior tight end, getting a little bit too much jersey, blocking up that run, so that backs up the Hornets. It'll be 2nd and 10, or pardon me, 1st and 16 here when the yardage is all averaged out. Back to the 46.
Yeah, Singletary just trying to do too much there, getting a little bit too much of the Whitehouse jersey. Doesn't help that they do actually have white jerseys, so going to be a little bit easier for the officials to see that, but Singletary just trying to do too much there, and it cost the Hornets a penalty yardage.
4 wide receivers, 1 tight end for Zay Adolph, as it's just a straight quarterback power up the middle, and he'll get past the original line of scrimmage to the 39. He'll set up 2nd and 9 for the Hornets. 45 seconds left here in the first quarter. Hornets lead 7-0 as there's an injured player on the Whitehouse Wildcat defensive line, it looks like. He's slow to get up. Can't see a number, but gives a chance to talk things over for Coach Rodney Southern and offensive coordinator Scott Schrader. Again, the lone score in this first quarter was a 17-yard touchdown run that came from Trayshawn Brown. The Hornets have really relied on him on the ground tonight, and he's got to be racking up the yardage here early in this one.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Trayshawn Brown just doing everything he can tonight to give Huntsville a win. He's really just been all over the field. He's just been, in any big offensive play, Trayshawn Brown has been involved in some way, and he's been like that all season. He's been that dynamic playmaker that Huntsville needs in the backfield.
I believe that might be a 19 Maddox Land out there, the senior. Again, 42 seconds left to remain here in our first quarter. Bi-district round matchup between the Huntsville Hornets and the Whitehouse Wildcats. Pardon me, that's 15, not 19. So that's Kadavian Pickens, the sophomore linebacker, will walk off the field under his own power. And here comes the Huntsville offense facing a 2nd and 9 from the Wildcat 39. Zay Adolph will be in the shotgun. Trayshawn Brown to his left, 2 receivers near side, 1 to the far side, very far side. That's Hunter Lorenz matched up 1-on-1. Snap. Adolph drops back to pass, looks over the middle, has his man complete at the 5, touchdown, Savion Conte. That's a Wisner of Huntsville touchdown. Huge pitch and catch.
Great throw there by Adolph. Just put it on a rainbow, on a rope there for Conte. Beautiful throw by the freshman quarterback. They really haven't really used his arm too much tonight, but when they do, man, it is a beauty to watch. A beautiful throw by Zay Adolph to put the Hornets up here even bigger.
13-0 with 30 seconds remaining here in the first quarter. It's Caleb Kulak in to attempt the extra point. Right-footed kicker waits. Kick is up and no good. Pulled a little to the left. But nonetheless, it's 13-0 Huntsville over Whitehouse with 30 seconds remaining here in the first quarter. Come on back for the rest of this quarter. This is Hornet Nation. This is the Hornet Nation Broadcast Network powered by KSAM Sports. $13-0 Hornets over the Wildcats here in the first quarter. out at Huntsville ISD Stadium. 30 seconds remain as it's a Diana K. Barnes State Farm Insurance kickoff. Caleb Kulak lines things up and boots it away. This one's going to go to Carter McLaughlin once again. Bounces in front of him. He picks it up, makes a shifty move, but he's out of bounds at the 19-yard line. That's where this Wildcat offense will come back out. Still a goose egg on the board here through the first. They'll look to change that. And if they don't, and the Hornets can get another one on the board, it could get late early here, as some folks like to say.
Yeah, and a great pooch kick there by Kulak, forcing Whitehouse to actually return it, and great coverage there by the Hornets special team to pin them back at about the 19-yard line.
So here comes JoJo Adams in the shotgun to his left. Zamaje Mosley, it's a give to Mosley. He'll take it right side, and he's met about 3 yards past the line of scrimmage. Great tackle made by Shiloh Jones, the senior linebacker, leading the charge for the Huntsville defense. Might be the final play of the first quarter. We'll see what in, 5 seconds left. Whitehouse lines up quickly, and they don't look like they're in any hurry. Indeed, they'll let the clock hit zeros. And we will go to the second quarter with Huntsville in front 13-0. Momentum swinging towards Huntsville in this one, and all the action coming up next on the other side. This is Hornet Nation Broadcast Network, powered by KSAM Sports. This is the Advantage Specialties second quarter. Whitehouse on a drive here as they are into Huntsville territory. Apologize for the technical difficulties, as here comes JoJo Adams out of the shotgun on a 1st and 10 at the Huntsville 48, and the Huntsville Hornets meet him at the line after a give. That's Zimmermann Mosley. It'll be 2nd and 10.
And yeah, Whitehouse has got some momentum on this drive, looking like they're in prime position to score. Huntsville's defense needs to stouten up just a little bit in order to get them off the field.
JoJo Adams makes the call, 2nd and 10 from the Huntsville 48. Hornets with 4 down linemen. They bring the pressure. It's a screen pass and a misfire from JoJo Adams. He just couldn't connect on the screen. As a reminder, folks, this broadcast has been copyrighted for the private use of our audience. Any other use of this broadcast without their express written consent of 101.7 KSAM and Huntsville High School athletics is strictly prohibited. A big 3rd and 10 here for this Huntsville defense. They've stood up to every test so far on this down. We'll see if they can do so here as the Hornets lead 13-0 with 10:36 left to play in the 2nd quarter. It's going to be a little trickery here. A reverse, an end around to Cade Richardson, but he's still going to be short of that marker. He'll pick up about 7, but kind of in no man's land here, Houston Hardcastle.
No doubt, and good tackle there by Sam Cleveland, preventing him from picking up the 1st down. The linebacker, that is a junior, makes a good tackle there, and it looks like Whitehouse is going to send their punting unit onto the field. We'll see if they stay with that.
You got to imagine you're going to go safe here all day if you're the Hornet return unit. They'll send Braylon Phelps back deep to return, and it's Ashton Park who will punt it away. He stands at his own 45. He indeed will punt it. It's a good long spiral, and it will be fair caught by Braylon Phelps at his own 14, and that's where there's Huntsville offense will come back to work.
All right, and we want to give some special shout-outs to our sponsors who make these broadcasts possible. The season of Huntsville Hornet is presented by Bill Fick Ford. No bull, just good deals. EB Squared Self-Storage, your local go-to self-storage facility. Charlie's Used Cars, customer satisfaction is our #1 priority. And Huntsville Independent School District. It's a great day to be a Hornet. We are building champions, everyone, every day.
It'll be 1st and 10 at the Huntsville 14 for the Hornets. Zay Adolph claps his hands. He gives to Trayshawn Brown. Brown works off the right side of the line and will fight forward for a gain of about 7. A great job by Caleb Williams and Eli Cruz, the 2 linemen on that right side of the line, squaring things off for Trayshawn Brown.
Good run there by Trayshawn Brown. We've talked about it all night. He's just been all over the field, able to make a couple big plays. That time, you hate to say 7 yards is a quiet night for him, but with the way he's been playing tonight, 7 yards is a little underwhelming. But regardless, it's going to bring up 2nd and short.
2nd and 2 to be exact from the Huntsville 22. Adolph claps his hands. Another give to Trayshawn Brown. He'll take it left side this time and powers forward down to the 30, and that is a Moke and Moke attorneys at law 1st down. And losing his helmet is Jarius Singletary, the junior tight end, so he'll come off for this 1st and 10 play.
Yeah, a couple of helmets flying out here tonight in Huntsville. Not sure what they're putting in the Whitehouse water to make them hit so hard.
Buckle the chin straps a little bit tighter, maybe.
Couple of plays where the helmets have come off. Good old-fashioned football.
Always 1st and 10 from the Huntsville 30. 13-0. Hornets lead the Wildcats with 9:49 left to play in the 2nd quarter. Zay Adolph, straight quarterback keeper here. He'll take it right side and will pick up about 5. Brought down by Noah Lindsay, the senior defensive back for Whitehouse.
Yeah, and that was an important tackle there by Lindsay because there was a lot of open field there for him if he didn't make that tackle. So great tackle there by Lindsay. Going to bring up 2nd and about medium for the Hornets.
Checking back into the ball game is going to be Josh Stanley. He goes to that far side. 3 receivers to that far side. Tied in off the right side of the line. That's Jarius Singletary. Adolph in the gun. He'll drop back to pass. Doesn't like what he sees. Now starts to scramble to that far side and will just throw it away. Fires it towards the Whitehouse cheerleaders. They get out of the way. Smart play there by the freshman quarterback. Sets up 3rd and manageable.
Yeah, great defensive pressure there by the Hornets front 7. Able to get in Great.
The Wildcats
Excuse me.
front seven.
Wildcats front seven. I got my teams mixed up here. But, yeah, great pressure there by them, forcing Zay Adolph to make a throw out of bounds. It's going to bring up 3rd and medium for the Hornets. They got to pick up this 3rd down.
3rd and 6 from their own 34. Chance to convert for the Hornets. Taking their time here. They're just now getting the play call in. 5 on the play clock. Adolph's got to hurry. And timeout called by Coach Rodney Southern. He saw that play clock ticking down. So we will take a timeout with them on a University Heights Baptist Church timeout. Come on back for more action on the other side. This is the Hornet Nation Broadcast Network, powered by KSAM Sports. Don't forget, Hornet fans, you can follow your hometown radio station on social media. Find us on Facebook, Instagram, X at KSAM-1017, and follow KSAM Sports on Facebook. 3rd and 6 for the Hornets from their own 34 here out of the timeout. Here's a snap, and flags are thrown. Might have motion on that Huntsville offensive line.
Offense, number 28, 5-yard penalty, replay 3rd down.
So it makes a 3rd and 6, a 3rd and 11 back to the Hornet 31.
Another penalty on Jarius Singletary.
Make it the Hornet 29, pardon me.
Yeah, another penalty on Jarius Singletary. He's committed a few in the past few drives. Don't know if the refs have noticed that their flag is still on the field. There he goes to pick it up. I didn't want anyone to potentially trip on that.
3rd and 11 here. Adolph in the gun. He claps his hands, drops back to pass, looks to the right side. Post is not there. He's going to step up in the pocket and take off. He's going to get close, but he's shoved out of bounds. Will they give him enough yardage? They do. Wow, what a scramble by Zay Adolph, the freshman. He needed 11. He got 12, and that's a Moke and Moke attorneys at law 1st down.
And that's just a classic play. The play breaks down. Nothing open. Zay Adolph just says, I'm going to use my legs, get what I can. But it turns out what he can get is a 1st down. And a great run there by Adolph to continue this Hornets drive on a 3rd and long, nonetheless.
Trayshawn Brown, a wide receiver on the short side of the field as the Hornets go 5 wide. It's a straight keeper for Adolph. Adolph off the right side. He powers forward for a gain of about 8. Just a yard short of midfield at the Hornet 49.
And great lead blocking there by Jarius Singletary. Committed a couple penalties here tonight, but really able to give his quarterback a, kind of a clearing the way for his quarterback there, just giving him a lot of room to operate. Great blocking there on the outside by Singletary.
That Hornet offensive line doing a great job tonight. Trey Williams, Brian Parker Jr., Bubba Moreno, Eli Cruz, and Caleb Williams holding up strong. And again, Jarius Singletary doing his job as the tight end. This time lines up as the H-back flexed off the right side of the line. High snap, Adolph pulls it down. Trayshawn Brown runs it right up the middle, right at the sticks. And we'll see if it's good enough for a Moke and Moke attorneys at law 1st down, and indeed it is. The Hornets keep the chains moving.
Yeah, just a straight up power run there with Brown, able to just get just enough for the 1st down. Not really able to make any cuts. Trayshawn Brown using a little bit of a little bit of beast over the beauty, able to get that 1st down.
Hornets lead the Wildcats 13-0 here in the 2nd quarter. 7:40 left to play until halftime, as it'll be 1st and 10 from the Wildcat 49. Adolph in the shotgun. Here's a snap. Jacavian Burks gets the carry off the left side, and Burks fights forward for a gain of 8.
Yeah, nice gain there by Burks. Just a little bit of an outside zone run, able to get outside of all that traffic there in the middle, pick up a nice gain on 1st down, bring up 2nd and short. These 2nd and shorts are really paramount for an offense. It allows you to open up your playbook because if you get a 3rd down, you just got to get 2 yards.
And the Hornets using the stretch game and the run game very, very well tonight, using that speed to get around the corners. And it's worked well for them. 2nd and 3 from the Wildcat 42. Adolph in the gun sends a man in motion. It's a sweep, and it's given to Josh Stanley, the senior. Stanley with a big run. He's at the 20, the 15, and spun out of bounds.
And there we go. That's the Hornets opening up the playbook, getting a little bit of trickery there to Josh Stanley. Just an outside jet sweep to Josh Stanley, the wide receiver, able to make a couple guys miss and get a big gain. Hornets now almost looks like they are inside the red zone now.
Inside that Murray Insurance and Financial Services red zone for the 3rd time tonight. They're 1 for 2 when it comes to getting points on the board. And a big run there by Josh Stanley, the senior, to set up the Hornets big time. Here's the 1st and 10 play from the 13. It's a give to Trayshawn Brown. Brown fights forward for a gain of about 6 inside the 10 down to the 8.
You know, Hornets really not getting away from their game plan here. If it's not broke, don't fix it. Just giving the ball to Brown. Quarterback keepers with Adolph, sweeps to the receivers. Really haven't opened up that passing game a lot tonight, aside of the big pass there to Conte.
Adolph in the gun, Brown to his right. Far side receiver is Hunter Lorenz. Then Josh Stanley and Savion Conte on the near side. Here's a snap, play action. It's an Adolph keeper right up the middle. Adolph fights his way in. Touchdown Hornets, but a flag is down on the play.
Looks like this one's coming back. Everyone on that Hornets front 7 just kind of putting their head down. They know it's on them. We'll get the white hat official call here.
Ref Mike is not on, I don't believe, but it is a hold on Huntsville.
Yeah, and you could kind of tell from the minute that play got into the end zone, a couple of the Hornet linemen just kind of put their heads down. You knew it was coming back. Penalties have really been a thorn in the Hornets' side this season. Every time they get a big play or get into the red zone, it just seems like penalties. They're just such drive killers. Need to get away from those.
It'll still remain 2nd down, but Hornets need to get 15 yards here. They lead 13-0 in the 2nd quarter. 6:09 left to play before halftime. Here's the 2nd and long play. Adolph drops back to pass. He finds Stanley in the flat. Stanley at the 5, fighting for the end zone, and finally gets shoved out of bounds after 2 H-backs, and it's just a straight Adolph keeper up the middle. Adolph trying to spin forward, and a good job by that Whitehouse defense holding sound. They stop Adolph at about the half-yard line. It'll be 3rd and goal, or 2nd and goal, pardon me.
Yeah, and Huntsville likes to do this power formation with Shiloh Jones down here in the red zone. Just kind of a power play. You give it to Trayshawn Brown or you give it to Adolph, where they just try to fight their way into the end zone. Looks like they're not going away from it here. Coach Southern likes to run this play in the red zone.
Here comes Brown behind Adolph, but looking for a quarterback sneak. Movement on the line. Who are they going to get? And it looks like it might be an offsides on Whitehouse. Excellent play call there to go with the hard count by Coach Rodney Southern. He might get a half a foot closer to this end zone.
Yeah, not much room there on penalty yardage. They are breathing in the red zone.
Indeed, it is offsides on Whitehouse. It will remain 2nd down, but it'll be half the distance, and there ain't much more to gain if you're the Hornets. They are breathing down the neck of this Whitehouse defense on the goal line. Adolph goes under center. It's a quarterback keep, and Adolph is in. Touchdown, Huntsville. The 3rd Wisner of Huntsville touchdown of the night makes it 19-0 Hornets over the Wildcats with 5:16 left to play in the 2nd quarter. But a flag is down as the light show fires off here at Huntsville ISD Stadium. Got to see what the call is here.
See if they might get them for something after the play.
It is on Huntsville. So the touchdown is good. Indeed, it is after the play. Unsportsmanlike conduct. We're not going to know what number it is because the referee mic is not working. They will enforce it on the kickoff. So extra point upcoming here.
Looks like Huntsville's going to go for 2 here.
Yeah, they are keeping the offense out there, but some substitutions late. No, they will keep the kicker on the sideline. Caleb Kulak started to jog out, now is called back by the coaching staff.
There's a lot of confusion there. Let's see what Rodney said. He's barking outside, barking out orders from the sideline.
He wants the football on that far hash mark as Huntsville works from left to right here at Huntsville ISD Stadium. They want it on that far hash mark.
Gives Adolph just a little bit more room to operate there on that right side.
Play clock has started as there will be 3 receivers on the near side, none to that far side. Trayshawn Brown to the right of Zay Adolph here on this 2-point attempt. Here's the snap. Zay Adolph rolls. A great play disguised. Jarius Singletary, a misdirection screen. He's into the end zone for the 2-point conversion to make it 21-0. Hornets over the Wildcats. 5:16 left to play here in the second quarter.
Yeah, just great play design there by the Hornets. Able to find Singletary, able to break a tackle. Lane Hooker over there for Whitehouse trying to make the tackle, but Singletary able to shrug him off, get into the end zone for the 2-point conversion. Now 21-0 Huntsville.
We'll hit a break here inside the Advantage Specialties second quarter. 21-0 Hornets over the Wildcats. This is the Hornet Nation Broadcast Network powered by KSAM Sports. Nothing Hornets over the Wildcats. Quick shout out to some sponsors here, Houston.
Yeah, no doubt. Diana K. Barnes, State Farm Insurance, focusing on auto, home, life, farm and ranch, business, pet, and tractor insurance in Huntsville, Texas, and surrounding areas. Hartfield Florist, personalizing your events since 1957. Lone Star Security and Investigation. When rules are broken, call Lone Star Security and Investigation. And Northside Baptist Church, growing people in Christ to reach others for Christ.
Time for a Diana K. Burns State Farm Insurance kickoff after the score. Again, 21-0 Hornets here in the bi-district matchup between Huntsville and Whitehouse. It's taken at the 25-yard line. A decent return here for Whitehouse as they get it all the way up to the 46-yard line. On the return there was Cameron Williams, the freshman defensive back for the Wildcats. Nick Savage filling in for Carlos Zimmermann. Houston Hardcastle is with me here inside the Frank's Taco Station broadcast booth. Justin Hardcastle is our executive producer. Michael Cedillo is our board op back at the studio, punching the 1s and 2s. So thankful y'all are here with us tonight, enjoying a beautiful night of Texas high school football, and it's going about as well as you could hope for the Huntsville Hornets so far. As here come the Wildcats with good field position to start this drive. They need an answer, and quick, as JoJo Adams is in the shotgun. Here's the snap. It's a play-action fake. Man open over the middle. Adams doesn't see him. He'll tuck it and run, and he will gain about 8. Flag comes in at the tail end of this play, and this one's probably coming back, Houston.
Yeah, let's see what the call from the White Hat is. Got a couple Hornets with their hands up. Not really sure who it's initially on, but we'll see.
Hold on Whitehouse, so back them up. They get a good gain, but it's negated on the hold. Pretty clean game played by both sides so far. A few holding penalties here and there, but that one's going to hurt Whitehouse. As again, you start nearly at midfield. Now you're backed up with the 1st and 20 all the way back to your own 37-yard line.
And all season, it's been Huntsville that's really been committing those penalties that push drives back, and it's nice to be on the other end of that for once and see the opposing team kind of go through that struggle.
JoJo Adams in the gun. Here's a snap. Another play-action fake. Looks to throw. Adams feels the pressure and will be wrapped up and sacked by the Huntsville defense. Tyler Smith was originally there, and that's a Hartfield Florist sack from the Huntsville Hornets, their first of the night.
Great pursuit there by Tyler Smith, just refusing to let go of JoJo Adams.
After the negative play, the Wildcats go quickly and actually fake out the Hornets there. They lined up about as quickly as you could, but then check over to the sideline and get the play call in as JoJo Adams is in the gun. Carter McLaughlin to his right, play action fake, and just a straight go ball to the far sideline. It's thrown out of bounds. Great coverage over there by Brett Carroll, the junior, to use that boundary as almost a second defender.
Yeah, and he knew exactly where that sideline was. He knew exactly what angle he needed to take in order to force that pass out of bounds. Looking for lane hooker over there was JoJo Adams, but just unable to find him. Great coverage there by Carroll. And it brings up about third and, we'll say half a mile.
3rd and 27 to be exact. At their own 30, 4:08 left to play before halftime. 21-0 Hornets over the Wildcats. Here's the snap, play action fake for Adams once again. He feels the pressure, spins away to the near side. Adams looking to throw across his body, and did he step out of bounds on the near sideline here? He did not, but he did get it away. Passes incomplete out of bounds as Carson Lacombe did haul it in, but it was right in front of that Hornet bench. So 4th down coming up. Here comes the punt unit for this Whitehouse Wildcat squad, and man, has this Hornet defense been great tonight.
Man, have they. Great pursuit there by the Hornet D-line, especially give big shout out to senior defensive end Zach Moss. Just really pursuing JoJo Adams there, unable to give him an inch. Really, like you talk about, using that sideline as a second defender, forcing an awkward throw near the sideline.
Ashton Park will punt this one away. Low line drive kick as Braylon Phelps will have to feel it. He does at his own 21-yard line, turns it back upfield. He's at the 40, and will get a good return out of that. About 24 yards. And 43-yard line is where this Hornet offense will take over. They've been firing pretty well tonight, coming off a touchdown drive in their last possession. They can kind of, if they play this right, they could almost double dip, because Huntsville will get the football out of halftime. They deferred to the second half.
If you score, maybe use your timeouts on Whitehouse next offensive possession, you could potentially triple dip.
Man, you're getting greedy. Here comes Zay Adolph in this offense. A quick pitch and catch to the near sideline. It's complete to Jabri Washington, the senior receiver. Enough for a Moke and Moke attorneys at law 1st down into Whitehouse territory.
Yeah, good throw there by Adolph. Good play design there by the Huntsville offensive coordinator. Just able to get him wide open, get Adolph's arm going. Huntsville moving a little quick.
Adolph hurries his troops to the line. Trayshawn Brown in the gun with him. It's a give to Brown, left side, a huge hole up the middle. He's at the 30, the 20. Brown with one man to miss, bulls him over, and is brought down at the 17-yard line. A huge gain down into the Murray Insurance and Financial Services red zone.
And man, does Trayshawn Brown have great game-breaking speed or what? Just able to make the first initial tackle miss, and then when he gets in open field, he's just so creative at making those cuts and making defenders miss. Beautiful run there by Brown.
1st and 10 for Huntsville at the Whitehouse 18. Shotgun formation for Adolph. Brown to his left. It's a give to Brown once again. He tries to get around that right side. He does, and will turn it upfield for a gain of about 5 before he spun out of bounds.
And Huntsville's smart, using the sidelines there with that jet sweep, stops the clock. Like you talked about, they have an opportunity to maybe get a touchdown here, stop Whitehouse, use your timeouts, and then maybe get the ball back at halftime. Man, you could nearly double your score if you do that.
Josh Stanley and Savion Conte, receivers to the far side. Jarius Singletary, the tight end, flexed off the left side of the line. Adolph in the gun. New back in the game, it's Jacavian Burks, and Burks will get the carry. He bounces it outside to the left. He's inside the 10, the 5, and brought down out of bounds at the 4. It'll be a Moke and Moke attorneys at law 1st down, and a 1st and goal at that for this Huntsville offense.
Yeah, great run by Burks there, giving Trayshawn Brown a little bit of a break. It's always so nice when you can have a running back come in and just be as successful and as dominant as your first-string running back. Burks has been so great all season at doing that.
Jacavian Burks still in the ball game to Adolph's left. It's another give to Burks. Burks tries to fight up the middle, and he's stopped at the half-yard line once again. And it will be 2nd and goal. Clock continues to run, and that's all right. If I'm Coach Rodney Southern, you might want to let a little, I know you're looking for the triple dip, but I would kind of slow things down here if I was Coach Southern and say, hey, let's not leave Whitehouse too much time. They'll go back into that power formation. Adolph will go under center. Brown dots the I in the backfield. 2nd and goal here. Man in motion from left to right. Here's the snap. It's going to be a pitch to Brown. Brown will have a man to barrel over it. He does just that. Touchdown Hornets. That's presented by Weisner of Huntsville, and it's 27-0 Hornets over the Wildcats with 1:40 left to play until halftime.
Man, it's just that goal line formation. You're thinking Whitehouse is thinking they're going to just push it straight up the middle. Great toss outside to Trayshawn Brown, just able to use his power and get into the end zone. Man, Hornets up big here in Huntsville.
Caleb Kulak out to attempt the extra point. Brown now with 2 touchdowns on the night, a 17-yarder and a 1-yarder, and a whole heck of a lot of rush yards to go with that. Kulak is ready with the hold as Hunter Lorenz. Here it is. Hold is true, and the extra point is true. It's 28-0 Hornets over the Wildcats. We'll hit a break, and the rest of this second quarter coming up on the other side. This is the Hornet Nation Broadcast Network, powered by KSAM Sports.
As we sail into colder weather, get your HVAC system tune-up from McWilliams Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. Available 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. 7 days a week with no overtime fees to help with heating, cooling, plumbing, and now generators. Visit callmcwilliams.com to schedule online. 936-209-1844. We're not comfortable until you are. This is the Hornet Nation Broadcast Network. 101.7 KSAM Huntsville and on the KSAM mobile app. Sting 'em Hornets.
Back out to the Hive, Huntsville ISD Stadium, and the folks here pretty much selling out the Hive are happy with what they've seen. It's 28-0 Hornets over the Wildcats here in this opening round matchup in the Texas State High School playoffs in the 5A Division II Region 2 here. Winner of this one advances on to play South Oak Cliff next week, as Caleb Kulak will boot this one away with the right foot. It's a pooch kick, and it is fair caught right at the 31-yard line by Cade Richardson.
Yeah, Huntsville trying to get another pooch kick there, maybe looking for an early turnover. And if you're Huntsville here, you've got all 3 timeouts in your back pockets. If you stop Whitehouse here, you could potentially get the ball back. That'd be an interesting scenario to think about.
Nick Savage, Houston Hardcastle here with you inside the Frank's Taco Station broadcast booth, filling in for Carlos Zimmermann and Brian, the rest of the crew. As it is 1st and 10 from the 31 for Whitehouse. Here's JoJo Adams. He'll give to the right side. It's Zamaje Mosley with the carry. Gets about 5 yards, and there's a flag on the play. That's a Lone Star Security and Investigations flag. Yeah, we'll see what this is. It's a personal foul or unsportsmanlike conduct on Huntsville. So add 15 yards to the end of that one, and it will be close to midfield, maybe past midfield once they walk this one off. And that's not what you want to see just before halftime. Don't want to give Whitehouse a chance to get some points on the board, because Houston going into the locker room, if the Wildcats see a 7 rather than a 0, maybe just a little bit of hope, you know?
Yeah, maybe it might be the fire that they need lit underneath them if they can get a score here against the Huntsville defense, which has really held them well all night. Just able to wrap up on first tackles, cause a few bad throws by JoJo Adams. Some more confusion here from our refereeing crew.
So it will be marked at the 48 in Huntsville territory. 1st and 10 from there. We're ready for play as Adams is in the gun. Zamaje Mosley will get the carry up the middle. He bounces it outside. He's at the 45-40 before he stumbles down. Gains about 8 yards. And it will be 2nd and about 2 as the clock is rolling. 2 timeouts remaining for Kyle Westerberg and the Wildcats, as they're going to have a little bit of urgency here, as they're 41 yards away from pay dirt and under a minute to play now before halftime. Adams in the gun. Snap, play action fake. Adams looks to wind up and throw. He doesn't like what he sees. He scrambles to the right side. Now winds up and fires deep. Overshoots his intended target. On the coverage over there is Brent Carroll, the junior safety. And the intended receiver, can't really see the number. I believe it might be Carter McLaughlin over there. As it's 3rd and 3 now, 53 seconds remain in the half.
And here it comes. Huntsville just needs a stop here on 3rd down. You're thinking Whitehouse might pass here, or if they don't, they run it, you take a timeout, you get your offense back on the field with about 50 seconds. Why not just try to air it out a few times with your freshman quarterback? Let's see what happens.
Huntsville defense has been doing a great job of making JoJo Adams uncomfortable all night long. Here's the 3rd and short play. It's a read option. Adams keeps it. He's going to wind up the middle and have enough for first down yardage. He needed 3. He got about 5, and a timeout taken by the Whitehouse Wildcats. Coach Westerberg is down to, oh, maybe he didn't. Thought I saw a signal on that far side, but Wildcats keeping the timeout. Here's the 1st and 10 play. Almost a pick thrown in between Shiloh Jones and Braylon Phelps on the coverage. It's incomplete. 41 ticks remain here in the 2nd quarter.
Good coverage there by Huntsville, just forcing another, like you talked about, making JoJo Adams uncomfortable all night. He's just been off center, off kilter, just hasn't been able to really step into his throws. So good job by the Hornets front 7.
2nd and 10 from the Huntsville 36. Adams, drops back to pass, fires deep and way overshoots his intended target. He was looking for Lane Hooker. Did not find him. Kenneth Scott the 3rd in coverage, and another 3rd down here. 35 seconds remain.
And great pressure there off the edge by Zach Moss. Not able to really bring Adams down, but able to get some good penetration there, forcing Adams to kind of be uncomfortable with his throws. It's been all night for the Huntsville defense.
And now the Wildcats will take a timeout after the incompletion. So they want to talk things over on this 3rd and 10 play, as they need to make sure they get the right play. Time to shout out some sponsors, Houston Hardcastle.
Yeah, no doubt. Let's give some more shout outs to our wonderful sponsors who make these broadcasts possible. Walker County Federal Credit Union, serving Walker County since 1957. Your full service community credit union, member NCUA. Amaya's Collision Center, family owned and operated since 1999. The season of Huntsville Hornet football is presented by Bill Fick Ford. No bull, just good deals. And obviously, Moak & Moak Attorneys at Law. For your real estate planning, real estate, or business law needs, call Moak & Moak Attorneys at Law, serving Huntsville since 1971.
We are coming to you live inside the Frank's Taco Station broadcast booth out at Huntsville ISD Stadium. The first ever playoff game hosted at this beautiful venue. 2 years old now, and it has not lost any of its luster, that's for sure. 3rd and 10 for Whitehouse here, as they trail the Hornets 28-0 with 35 ticks remaining in the first half. It's JoJo Adams in the shotgun. Zamaje Mosley to his left. He'll assist with the protection as JoJo Adams is running for his life. Throws across his body into coverage, and it's intercepted by the Hornets. That's Brent Carroll on the return. Pardon me.
Looks like McCorrick Norman.
McCorrick Norman with the big pick. The linebacker going all the way back to get the catch.
Man,
and he returns it up to the 35. Flags are down. We'll see what they are, but I believe the interception will stand. This just might be flags on the block. It was a hold on Whitehouse, actually, so the Hornets will decline it and have the football at the 36 after the interception from McCorrick Norman. 21 ticks remain, 2 timeouts from Coach Southern. We'll see if they can make something happen.
Man, McCorrick Norman has just been all over the field all season long, and then tonight just goes over a big overthrow there by JoJo Adams, and McCorrick Norman is able to get it. Wacky formation here for Huntsville.
Looks like they'll just kneel this one out and head into the locker room. They do not want the triple dip. They want the double dip. Houston Hardcastle. They'll take the knee and take a 28-0 lead into halftime. It's all Hornets here in the first half. They are feeling themselves as the Whitehouse Wildcats will go into the locker room looking for some answers. The Northside Baptist Church halftime show is coming up after these messages. This is the Hornet Nation Broadcast Network, powered by KSAM Sports. Welcome into the Northside Baptist Church halftime show. Nick Savage filling in for Carlos Zimmermann. He's on the road. Joined alongside me is Houston Hardcastle, normally down on the sideline, but up in the booth with me tonight. Justin Hardcastle is our executive producer. Michael Cedillo is our board op tonight back at the studio, and we'll recap the first half for you here, as it was a defensive stand by Huntsville to start off the ball game. A 3-and-out forced by this Hornets defense, who swarmed all over Whitehouse. The sophomore quarterback JoJo Adams for Whitehouse has really been uncomfortable all night long. You can credit this Huntsville defensive line. Zach Moss, Tyler Smith, Jaden Bradford, Fred Oladelli doing their part in making things uncomfortable for him. Huntsville didn't waste any time getting into the end zone on their first possession. It was a 17-yard touchdown run from Trayshawn Brown, who punched it in to make it 7-0 Huntsville. The teams traded punts back and forth for a bit, but at the very end of the first, it was a Zay Adolph 39-yard touchdown pass to Savion Conte to make it 13-0. Extra point was no good. In the second quarter, a 1-yard touchdown run from Zay Adolph and a 2-point conversion that went through. Pass was complete to Jarius Singletary. A beautiful play design made it 21-0, and another 1-yard touchdown run from Trayshawn Brown made it 28-0. And as I bring you in here, Houston Hardcastle, I don't know what's been more impressive, this offensive performance or this defensive performance from the Hornets.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. The Hornet defense has really been impressive all season, but there were a few question marks heading into this one with a freshman quarterback at the helm. How would the Huntsville offense perform? And they've really exceeded those expectations. Not only have they exceeded those expectations, but they have blown them out of the water. The Hornet offense has looked borderline unstoppable at some moments today, and really the only time where they didn't score on their drives was when they had some trouble with penalties and things like that, and they kind of just didn't do themselves any favor. They were their own thorn in their side. But other than that, the Whitehouse defense just has had no answer for Trayshawn Brown. I mean, he has been running all over the field tonight. He's that one-cut kind of running back. He just gets a little bit of open space, and he gets into those lanes. It's really impressive.
Just want to remind y'all, tonight's live stream on the KSAM YouTube channel is brought to you in part by Wisner of Huntsville, home of the bottom line. And apologies for mispronouncing that earlier. I know people were coming for me, but I've gotten the talking to, don't you worry, as we are here inside the Northside Baptist Church halftime show, as we're just about 22 minutes away from getting back to the action. We'll hit a break here, and on the other side, you'll hear Hornets Nest with Shannon Duncan, and we'll talk things over. We'll bring in Justin Hardcastle on the other side of that and get his take on what he's seen from the Hornets tonight. So don't go anywhere. Come on back. This is the Hornet Nation Broadcast Network, powered by KSAM Sports.
Make a plan for the new week ahead. I'm Reagan Cooksey, pastor of Northside Baptist Church.
Back inside the Frank's Taco Station broadcast booth here on the Northside Baptist Church halftime show. Nick Savage filling in for Carlos Zimmermann. Houston Hardcastle is with me, as well as Justin Hardcastle, our executive producer. We'll welcome him in here and get his thoughts on what he's seen tonight from these Hornets. Again, 28-0 at halftime, about 15 minutes away from kickoff, as it's been all Hornets all night long. We'll bring Justin in here in just 1 second. But again, it was 2 touchdowns from Trayshawn Brown, as well as a rushing touchdown and a passing touchdown from Zay Adolph. Savion Conte was the receiver who reeled in that 39-yard strike from Zay Adolph. And here is Justin Hardcastle joining us in the booth. Justin, what have you liked so far from this Hornets squad? And yeah, just initial thoughts.
Man, I'll tell you, the offense has been absolutely rolling tonight. The transition from Austin Taylor to Zay Adolph has been fantastic. The kid has really stepped up and is really starting to come into form. You've seen him make a couple of really nice passes tonight. His rush game's been strong. We've known that from the beginning. What I'm really liking from his game tonight is the passes. He's really starting to come into his own as a passer, and the fact that he's only a 14-year-old freshman is outstanding. He's only going to get better at that. Definitely a bright future on that.
Yeah, almost had, and I just now remember, almost had another passing touchdown to Josh Stanley, who just bobbled it, had his foot down, but didn't quite reel it in. But it was a heck of a pass. Again, like you mentioned, that was kind of the question is, again, we knew he could run the football. He carried it plenty of times and showed his skill, but fired a strike to the back of the end zone. Just missed a touchdown pass, but I agree with you. I liked what I've seen so far from Adolph using his arms. What do you think, adjustment-wise, Coach Rodney Southern's going to do in the locker room here coming out for the second half? Again, big lead to preserve. What's he going to dial up?
They've got to stay disciplined. That's going to be my big key. I saw a couple of red zone penalties that I didn't like. Red zone penalties have been a problem for this team all year. They've got to tighten those up, stay disciplined, keep playing that brand of football. They should be fine, but they can't let those penalties start to get out of control in the second half, because that is how you give a team momentum, get them back in this thing. It's by no means over yet. There's a whole nother half to play. So you got to make sure you stay locked down, keep disciplined. That's going to be the key to coming out with a victory in this. Absolutely.
And last thing for you here, Justin, before we hit our next break here inside the halftime show here, for Whitehouse, going into the locker room 28-0 rather than 28-7 when they could have punched it in there towards the end, but the Hornet defense stood up and made the stand. Just how hard is that for the Wildcats to come out of the locker room in this environment, down 4 scores to, kind of, do you think they have to come out and think, hey, this is a 0-0 game and we kind of have to approach it like that? Or do you know they're playing like, hey, we got to score quick and, be sound all around?
Oh, absolutely. In your mind, you got to come out and play like it's 0-0. Yeah, you hear short-term memory in sports a lot.
Yep.
Yeah, you didn't like what happened at the end of the second half, but you got to wipe it out of your mind, come back, pretend like it's 0-0. Don't worry about what happened in the first half. You can't change that. It's a new half. I'm going to go out there and play as competitive as I can. So Huntsville's got to go out there and mind their P and Qs, because these guys are going to come out aggressive. They're essentially playing with nothing to lose, so they're going to play fast and loose, and Huntsville's got to be ready for that.
Just about 12 minutes away from second half action here out at Huntsville ISD Stadium. The Hive is a buzzing tonight, 28-0 Hornets over the Wildcats. Our Northside Baptist Church halftime show continues on the other side. This is the Hornet Nation Broadcast Network, powered by KSAM Sports.
There's a
Back out at Huntsville ISD Stadium, it is the Northside Baptist Church halftime show. Nick Savage here, Houston Hardcastle with me inside the Frank's Taco Station broadcast booth, and we are going to look around the state of Texas here. Again, the opening weekend of playoffs. Again, some games starting yesterday, most games tonight here in the by-district rounds of the playoffs. Again, 28-0 here out at Huntsville. It's all Hornets so far and around the area. I'll give you some scores, and Houston will give you some scores as well. College Station currently leading Crosby 24-7. That one's in College Station. Second quarter there, just halftime, just hit halftime, I should say. A&M Consolidated, another College Station school, leading Friendswood 34-13. Brenham at halftime at home leads Texas City 24-0, and Navasota at half leads Houston Yates 35-18. Houston, what are some scores you might be keeping an eye on? And if you're still looking up some scores, I can help you out there.
Yeah, it looks like I was trying to get some of those district matchups here for tonight, not updating on the Dave Campbell's app, unfortunately.
Well, Montgomery is tied 14-14 with Marshall at halftime. Little 5A Division II action. Let's check in on Anderson Shiro, maybe. They're not going to show up. All right, that's fine. We'll keep checking around the state of Texas here. But again, it is 28-0, 9:30 left here before we get back to action here in the second half out at Huntsville ISD Stadium. It's been a blast, and now we got a few scores to check in on, Houston.
Yeah, it looks like in the third quarter, wow, Montgomery tied with Marshall 14-14. Nederland down to the Texarkana Texas High Tigers 42-7. So not looking too good for Nederland right now. Austin Travis leading Canyon Lake 28-12. Let me get a update on the Port Neches Groves game on the Hallsville Bobcats side of things. Looks like that one still hasn't updated, unfortunately. Let me double check here.
That one is 23-0 at the half. Port Neches Groves leads there. And that's pretty much all the games we're keeping our eyes on. Again, the winner of this one will advance to take on South Oak Cliff next week. South Oak Cliff played last night, and they defeated Terrell 52-14. So it was a big-time win for the defending state champs. So big matchup. If the score holds here upcoming for the Hornets, big test already in the area round, but can't turn the page just yet. The Hornets got to focus up here tonight. And Houston, we'll get into some keys to the game here. I'll give you mine, and then I'll bring you in here. But got to run the ball. Just got to keep running that football. The Hornets have done such a good job of it tonight. Trayshawn Brown with 2 touchdowns, rushing touchdown for Zay Adolph. And we talked about it, the sweep game, working across the formation, not necessarily going right up the middle, but using the speed of these backs, even with Jacavian Burks running the football as well, has been pretty successful for the Hornets. So I'm going to look for them to keep running the football effectively. What are you looking out for?
Yeah, and like we talked about a little bit before, just being consistent. Don't come out and try to play down to your opponent, because that's when you get sloppy, that's when you get lazy, and that's when teams start to make comebacks. It doesn't matter that you're up 28-0. You could be up 35-0. You could be up 42-0. It doesn't matter if the team comes out. If this Whitehouse team comes out and plays with a fire and a passion that they didn't see in that first half, because remember, they're playing with a lot to lose. Their season's on the line right now, so they are going to be an animal backed into a corner, and you need to just be careful and stay consistent. Play that same brand of football that really got you here in the first place. They got you this 28-0 lead. We talked about it a little bit in the pregame, riding the legs of those running backs. Burks and Trayshawn Brown have really just kind of carried this offense. Obviously, Adolph's done his thing on the ground and through the air. We kind of expected that to happen, but the running game was a bit of a question, because when it doesn't work for the Hornets, sometimes their offense can stall out, but hasn't really stalled out tonight. Just great blocking by the Hornet O-line, able to open up holes for both Adolph, Brown, and Burks, and they have just been really, really successful on the ground tonight. And if they keep that forward, or if they keep that going forward, then the Huntsville Hornets are going to come out of here with a big win. Maybe keep a 0 on the scoreboard. We'll see if the shutout remains intact, but if not, they need to stay on their A game.
I want to remind y'all that we are coming back, as in Carlos Zimmermann and company, are coming back for another season of Huntsville Hornet and Lady Hornet basketball. District matchups will be broadcasted with live video coverage exclusively on the 101.7 KSAM YouTube channel. Stay tuned to our social media for more updates as we close in on another great year of Hornet and Lady Hornet hoops. Can't wait to see that. And also, don't forget, Hornet fans, you can follow your hometown radio station on social media. Find us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, or I should say X now, at KSAM1017, and follow KSAM Sports on Facebook. 5.5 minutes until we get to the second half. Hornets lead 28-0 at the break here inside the Northside Baptist Church halftime show. We'll have more for you on the other side, including all of the second half action. This is the Hornet Nation Broadcast Network, powered by KSAM Sports. Second half coming up at Huntsville ISD Stadium. The Hornets lead the Wildcats 28-0 here in the bi-district round of the 5A Division II Texas High School football playoffs. A date with South Oak Cliff on the other side for the winner of this one. So we're 3 minutes away from kickoff, getting set for the Amaya's Collision Center third quarter. Nick Savage, Houston Hardcastle here with you inside the Frank's Taco Station broadcast booth as we're getting set for some great action. As a reminder, this broadcast has been copyrighted for the private use of our audience. Any other use of this broadcast without the express written consent of 101.7 KSAM and Huntsville High School athletics is strictly prohibited. Houston, players to watch for you here in this second half. Give me one on offense and one on defense for you for Huntsville.
Well, for Huntsville, it's obviously going to be running back Trayshawn Brown. If he can continue to have a big game on the ground, really just milk this clock, come out of here with a win, then Huntsville is going to be very successful here in the second half. Second half on defense, there's actually two players I want to highlight. I think Zach Moss has done a great job generating pressure on that defensive line. He's been in the backfield nearly every play. We kind of talked about in that pregame, getting pressure on the quarterback, making JoJo Adams uncomfortable, and Zach Moss has really been a very paramount part of that. And then I want to talk about cornerback Brent Carroll. He's really been locking it down on the outside, played some really great coverage on these receivers for Whitehouse. He has not allowed a catch, as far as I'm concerned, in this entire game. He has really been locked down tonight. Cornerback for the Huntsville Hornets has been playing really, really well tonight. So those are my players to watch going forward. I think they are going to have the biggest impact here in the second half, and Huntsville's just going to need to rely on them to come out with a win here.
Okay, you cheated too. You gave me more than one on both sides. I was going to cheat, so I'm glad you did that. I'm gonna, on offense, I'm going to give you the entire offensive line. That's more than one player, or more than two, I should say. But, you can't credit Trayshawn Brown in that running game without giving credit to the big guys up front, right? Trey Williams, the junior, Brian Parker Jr., the senior, Bubba Moreno, the center there, Eli Cruz, and Caleb Williams have been doing a great job of holding the line and giving, Adolph time to pass, but also sealing the edges when they're using that sweep run game, trying to run to the outside for Trayshawn Brown and Jacavian Burks. Those offensive linemen have been doing a great job. And on defense, I'll go McCormick Norman. He's already got a pick in this one that stopped a Whitehouse threat. They were deep into Huntsville territory. So let's look for him maybe to get another turnover. Why not? Get a little greedy here as we're about 30 seconds away from kickoff here in the second half. Hornets 28, Wildcats nothing, as the Hornets have all the momentum coming into this one. They're going to get the football to start the second half as they won the toss, deferred, and will get a chance to go up 5 scores if all things go as planned for Coach Rodney Southern and crew, as the Hornets take the field, again wearing their white helmets with the chrome H in green on the side of each helmet, or side of the helmets, black tops, black bottoms, white letters and numbers. Whitehouse in their maroon helmets with the Wildcat logo on the top, white jerseys, white pants for the visitors. There's 12 minutes on the clock out at the Hive. This sellout crowd has loved what they've seen so far, and they hope they can get about 24 minutes of it, as the Hornets will send the kickoff crew out here shortly, again for this Amaya's Collision Center third quarter.
And while we have a break in the action, let's just go ahead and thank some more of our wonderful sponsors who make this broadcast possible. Heritage Oak Funeral Home, where heritage meets home, your hometown funeral home. Frank's Taco Station in Riverside, Country Kitchen, tacos and more. Nelson Amaya's Collision Center, honest work, quality service. And Murray Insurance and Financial Services, an agency you can trust.
Huntsville kickoff unit is out on the field, back deep to receive. Trayshawn Brown on the far side. Braylon Phelps on the near side. Huntsville will be returning from left to right on your dial out at Huntsville ISD Stadium towards that big video board. As Whitehouse is ready to rock, Ashton Park, the junior kicker, raises his right hand and puts his right foot to the football and sends it deep. It'll go to Braylon Phelps. He'll take it at the 5 and turn it up field on the near side here. He's at the 20, the 25, the 30, and shoved out of bounds. And it'll be good starting field position for the Hornets here to start off this second half. Here comes Adolph, Trayshawn Brown, and the whole unit.
Yeah, here it comes. Let's go really set the momentum here the second half. Hornets are going to be looking for a big game, big second half here from all their offensive weapons, the offensive line included. Trayshawn Brown, Zay Adolph, all of them.
Sounds like there was a penalty on the end of that on Whitehouse, so tack on 5 yards for the Hornets. They'll start at their own 39-yard line. Zay Adolph will be in the shotgun. Trayshawn Brown already with 2 touchdowns to his name. To his right, 3 receivers in the formation. Jarius Singletary flex off the left side of the line. Here's a snap it to give to Brown. He will go towards that left side of the line, and the edge was not sealed. Brown will fight forward, though, for a gain of about a yard up to the 40. It'll be 2nd and 9.
Yeah, good play there by the Whitehouse defense. Just Brown has been running over them all night, but he's able to be contained there, really bottled up there in the backfield, able to fight back to the original line of scrimmage and also gain a yard out of it. Not much going for the Huntsville offense there.
Fans, as a reminder that this season of Huntsville Hornet football is presented by Bill Fick Ford. 2nd and 9 for your Hornets. 11:20 left to play in the third quarter. They lead 28-0. Snap, give to Brown. Brown powerfully up the middle, breaks a tackle, and is gang tackled by the Wildcats. He's going to gain about 8. It'll be 3rd and short here near midfield for the Hornets.
Yeah, and this is a really important third down. It might not seem like it, but if you're Huntsville, you get a first down here on that drive, and you can just continue milking this clock. Huntsville needs to pick up a first down here in order to control the tempo of this second half.
And you can already see the noticeable difference in tempo from Rodney Southern's crew. They are taking their sweet time getting to the line of scrimmage, as there's 12 on the play clock, and they finally get to the line. 3 receivers bunched up near side. Trayshawn Brown in the backfield. Here's the snap. Adolph will roll to throw. Looking downfield, he doesn't like what he sees. He tucks it and runs, and he's going to have enough for the first down. That's a Moke and Moke Attorneys at Law first down.
Yeah, and a great job there by Adolph by not forcing anything. You know, a lot of young quarterbacks might try to be a hero, try to make a big throw downfield, but Adolph recognizes there's nothing open. I only need a couple yards for the first down. Gets just enough, keeps the drive going.
So 1st and 10 from the 50. Ball will be placed at the near hash. Far side is Jabri Washington. Josh Stanley, the far side slot. One-on-one here is Savion Conte on the near sideline. Here's a snap. It's a give up the middle to Jacavian Burks. Burks with the carry, and it's a great run on first down right at the marker. And they're going to give him another Moke and Moke Attorneys at Law first down. Huntsville's starting to move the ball at will here.
Yeah, it's always great when you can have 2 dominant running backs in the game, and Burks and Brown have been a 1-2 punch here tonight. You get 2 great running backs out of both of them, and they have both really just been able to help Huntsville control the tempo in this one.
Adolph in the shotgun. Singletary in motion from right to left on the line, and it's another give to Burks. Burks up the middle, spins out of a tackle, backs his way out of a tackle. He had a gain of about 3, fought his way into a gain of about 9. What a run there on first down by Jacavion Burks.
Yeah, and that's just power running, just refusing to go down on first contact. Burks, as you said, looked like he might have had a little bit of a short gain there, but just able to keep the feet churning and keep the yardage going. Going to bring up 2nd and short for the Huntsville offense.
2nd and 2 to be exact. Football is placed at the 32-yard line here on the opening drive of the 3rd quarter for the Hornets. Here's a snap from Adolph. It's a give to Brown. Brown makes a man miss. A great cut there as he's got first down yardage. Another Moke and Moke Attorneys at Law first down.
Yeah, just really intelligent running there for Brown. His initial gap that he was looking for wasn't open, so he's just able to use his feet, scamper around, find a hole that is open, get about 4 or 5 yard gain, able to use his speed. First down for the Hornets. They keep milking that clock.
You mean to tell me they're milking clock here with 9 minutes left in the 3rd quarter? I like the thought as they lead 28-0 here in the bi-district round of 5A Division II Texas High School Football Playoff. Here is the first pass attempt from Adolph. He's going to tuck it and run, actually, as he did not like what he sees, and wow, you like that physicality from your freshman. He lowers the shoulder on Dalen Hester, the senior, and stood him up.
Man, yeah, talk about Zay Adolph. Just like you said, a lot of freshman quarterbacks might try to make something out of nothing there, but Adolph smartly tucks it, runs away with the ball, gets a few yard gain there, doesn't try to be a hero, and man, you love the physicality there at the end of the run.
You gotta imagine his older teammates, the seniors, the juniors, just love that from the freshmen as it's 2nd and 8 at the Whitehouse 25. Another Adolph pass attempt. He looks deep down the field, doesn't like what he sees once again, takes off and runs, and he'll gain about 5. And it will be 3rd and manageable here. Pardon me, he gains about 3, and it'll be 3rd and 8. Move the football up to the 22-yard line. As we'll see what Coach Rodney Southern and offensive coordinator Scott Schroeder dial up here on 3rd and short. Here on the opening drive in the 3rd quarter. Just outside the Murray Insurance and Financial Services red zone. 5 wide look. It's a read option for Adolph. Adolph keeps up the middle, and he's not going to have enough. He'll gain a yard, and he'll set up 4th and short. We'll see if we'll see the field goal unit here, and indeed, here comes Caleb Kulak.
Credit to the Whitehouse defense. They made a stop there.
And before Kulak gets to attempt this kick, a quick timeout for an injured Hornet. Looks just like a cramp, as it is Bubba Moreno who is stretching out the hamstring. He gets up and walks off under his own power. So he's good to go. It's 28-0 Hornets over the Wildcats with 7:38 left to play here in the third. Hornets chewing up almost half of this third quarter clock.
Yeah, and their end goal was definitely 6 there, but just unable to pick up a first down there on a pivotal 3rd and 5. Really just going to force them to take 3, go up 31-0. You know, that's never a bad day when it's a good when you you feel kind of bad about yourself having to take a 3.
Caleb Merchant will check in for Bubba Moreno, as here comes a kick. It's going to be a 38-yarder, and it's going to be a fake that's blown up by Whitehouse. It does not go the way of the Hornets as whistles blow, and I don't think they're going to have a return on this. It'll just be, okay, so they're going to rule that a forward pass. Indeed it was. It was the holder, Hunter Lorenz, who tried to flip that one forward to Trayshawn Brown, but the pass fell incomplete. So not the worst call in the world here. I mean, you back them up. They still got to go, 79 yards here as they start at the 21 in Huntsville, or in their own territory, do the Wildcats. So don't hate it, but the Hornets do come up empty-handed, as the first play from scrimmage is a handoff to Zimmermann Mosley. Mosley gains 6 up to the 27-yard line. It'll be 2nd and short from there.
Yeah, good run there by Whitehouse, really setting the tempo. Here they go with their hurry
Look
up.
at this tempo. Yeah, Mosley with another carry right up the middle. He's going to gain about 2. The ball might have came out. Indeed it did, and that's a turnover. The Huntsville Hornets might have the football here. No definitive call just yet.
Southern says Hornet ball. Let's see what the refs say.
There's an injured player down. Still no call. Referees telling the Huntsville sideline to get back as the ball carrier, Zimmermann Mosley, is being tended to.
But what a great play there by Claudio Alvarenga, the senior, to come up with the ball there. If he did come up with it, and if this stands, it's going to be Huntsville ball in really good territory.
Here comes the call. Fumble by the offense, recovered by Huntsville. 2nd turnover of the night for this defense. And that puts the Hornets inside the Murray Insurance and Financial Services red zone. So they basically just take over where they left off after the failed fake field goal attempt.
It's right back to business.
Right back to business. Here comes this Huntsville offense. Zay Adolph, Trayshawn Brown and company. On the near sideline, it's Marcus Lewis, Savion Conte lined up. And on that far side, Josh Stanley. Adolph in the gun with Brown in the backfield. Brown gets the carry. He takes it left side and will gain about 5 up to the 12. Good carry on first down, and that clock begins to run. That's what this Huntsville team wants.
Yeah, no doubt about it. You got a big lead here in the third quarter. Your defense just forced one of the biggest turnovers of the game, so you kind of just want to milk that clock and kind of milk it down to the fourth quarter and really just kind of control the game from here on out.
An injured Wildcat limps off the field. Lane Hooker checks in on that far sideline. He's matched up with that's Jabri Washington, on that far sideline. As Adolph is in the gun, Brown to his right. It's a carry to Brown once again. Brown tried to weave his way around the traffic in the box, but only picks up about 2 yards. It'll be 3rd and short.
Yeah, it's 3rd and short here for Huntsville. This is where they like to open up the playbook, get a little creative. Maybe you might see some motions there from the far side receiver. Maybe try to get it over to Washington on a quick hitch. This is where Huntsville offensive coordinator Scott Schroeder really shines. He gets really creative here in these 3rd and shorts in the red zone.
Jakevion Burks checks in for Trayshawn Brown. He is in the backfield to the right of Adolph. Jarius Singletary, the tight end, flex to the right side of the line. He moves to the left. 3rd and 3 here. Here's the snap. It's a give to Burks. Burks right at the sticks. Falls forward. Football comes out at the end of it, and it might be a turnover in Whitehouse football. And indeed it is. Fumble by Burks popped out at the end of that play. He had the first down yardage, was trying to fight for more, but had it punched out at the end of that. So these two teams trade fumbles here.
Yeah, it looks like Burks initially might have thought he was short of those sticks, and so he tried to stick the ball out to get a little bit more. You're not really supposed to stick the football out like that. It's punched out by the Whitehouse defense. Turnover for the Hornets, their first of the night.
So Huntsville defense back out on the field, but Whitehouse with its worst field position to start tonight. They are all the way back on their own 7. And the first play from scrimmage is a sweep to Carter McLaughlin, and McLaughlin is going to get pretty much nothing. He might get a yard on that play, and that's about it.
Yeah, no, really good containment there by the Huntsville defense. Whitehouse just trying to do anything they can to catch the Hornet defense off guard, and they just haven't all night. They've been really disciplined, recognizing plays when they happen, wrapping up on first contact and bringing people to the ground. Good, disciplined football here from Huntsville's defense.
Adams in the shotgun, play action fake, trying to set up a screen, and that's not the first time JoJo Adams has missed on the screen, incomplete. Intended for Lane Hooker. That'll set up a 3rd and 9 for the Wildcats, and it's time for the Hornet defense to pin their ears back here and get after JoJo Adams like they've done all night long.
Yeah, and credit to the Hornet front 7 there on that last pass attempt by JoJo Adams, just making him uncomfortable, making him throw off his back foot, making him throw off balance.
Here comes the play from their own 8. Adams drops back to pass. He's in his own end zone. He fires it out of bounds. No one was open. That's great coverage by this secondary. And it's a 3 and out for the Whitehouse Wildcats.
Yeah, just looking for his guy, Lane Hooker over there, but great coverage there by Brent Carroll. Like you said earlier in the game, using that sideline almost like an extra defender, forcing an awkward throw from Adams, and the Huntsville defense is going to give their offense good field position pending the return.
Braylon Phelps stands in between the 45 and the 50 on the Whitehouse side of the field. Huntsville showing pressure. Will they get to this kick? It's a low line drive. They will not, as Phelps lets it bounce. He fields it at the 50, spin move, works away from a man, and is spun down at the 41. A decent return there. Works the Wildcats into, or pardon me, works the Hornets into Wildcats territory.
Yeah, just a good return there by Phelps, able to get underneath it. It was a low kick, had a few spirals there, but he's able to field it, get a decent return, and Huntsville gets really good starting field position.
So the Hornets with a chance to control this game even further. It feels like they've been out on the field this entire 3rd quarter pretty much, as the Hornets will go 5 wide here. 2 receivers near side, 2 to the far side, tight end flex off the left side of the line. Pass is deflected up in the air, and great job by Trayshawn Brown to turn into a defender there, as the pass from Adolph was deflected off the right side of that defensive line, shot straight up in the air, and it looked like Cameron Williams, the freshman defensive back, was just going to have the easiest pick of his life, but Trayshawn Brown comes up and knocks it away, falls incomplete. It's 2nd and 10.
Yeah, and Adolph just has to be a little bit more disciplined there. Recognize that isn't open.
4 wide receivers, 1 tight end in this look. It's a straight Adolph run, and Adolph is caught at the line of scrimmage and thrown backwards for a loss of 2. And Huntsville going backwards here offensively. It'll be 3rd and 12. Back to the Whitehouse 43.
And a lot of credit here to the Whitehouse defense. They've played a completely different brand of football here in the second half. Great tackle there for loss by Kadavian Pickens. The sophomore linebacker able to bring Adolph down in the backfield for a loss of about 2. Brings up a 3rd and long for Huntsville.
Brown will line up in the backfield with Adolph. Receiver Hunter Lorenz, Savion Conte. And Savion Conte is going to get the catch as it's a quick hitter to him in the flat. Conte trying to fight forward, the senior wide receiver. just short of the sticks. We'll see what they do. He's a yard short. He needed 12. He got 11. And you wonder if they want to go for it here. I mean, you mentioned it earlier, no man's land. That's exactly where Huntsville is. We know Caleb Kulak has the range. We've seen him hit it from about this far in warmups, but I don't think Coach Southern wants to try that in this situation, as the Hornets will go basically in a goal line formation. Trayshawn Brown late coming off the sideline, and a timeout taken by Rodney Southern, and we will take one with them, as this is a University Heights Baptist Church timeout. 28-0, 3:37 left in the third quarter. In this one, it's all Huntsville so far. More third quarter action on the other side. This is the Hornet Nation Broadcast Network, powered by KSAM Sports.
Hornet graduate and 1998 Bearcat graduate. I'm also the Minister of Students and Outreach at University Heights Baptist Church. Here at University Heights, we are connected to Christ and the community. We also offer small groups and activities for every age and stage. Be sure to check us out online at uhbc.net or download our UHBC app in the Apple or Android store today. Sting 'em, Hornets!
This is the Hornet Nation Broadcast Network, 101.7 KSAM Huntsville, and on the KSAM mobile app. Sting 'em Hornets.
Back out at Huntsville ISD Stadium, 4th and short. The Hornets go for it, and a flag is down, as they would have had enough, but might have had movement before they snapped that football. And indeed, it is a false start. So it'll be a 5-yard penalty enforced on that. A 4th and 1, maybe half a yard, goes to 4th and 5. And offense is staying out there.
Yeah, it looks like Southern and Schroeder are getting away from the goal line package. Again, they're still kind of in that no man's land area, about near the 37-ish yard line. So you can't really punt it in this scenario, so Huntsville's just going to keep their offense out on the field and say, hey, we're going to get this, and we're going to continue to control the tempo of this game.
Why not, right? Hunter Lorenz, a senior wide receiver, widest to the far side of the field. And then it's Savion Conte, who will get the catch at the 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, touchdown. Huntsville, quick hitter, goes from 37 yards out. It's 34-0 Hornets.
And why control the tempo when you can score a touchdown? Get the ball into the hands of one of the greatest playmakers on this team, Savion Conte, the senior receiver making his impact on this game. His second receiving touchdown of the night puts Huntsville up 34-0.
The first one was from 39 yards out. This one from 34. And it's 34-0. With Caleb Kulak in to attempt the extra point. Hunter Lorenz will hold. Brian Parker Jr. will snap the football. Snap is up, hold is good, kick is up, and it is through. 35-0. Huntsville over the Wildcats. 3:28 left to play in the third quarter, as Huntsville is pushing all the right buttons here tonight. More action on the other side. This is the Hornet Nation Broadcast Network, powered by KSAM Sports.
They don't build cars like they used to, and they don't repair them like they used to either. Today's vehicles contain advanced lightweight materials and safety features like crumple zones and sensors that help protect your family. Repairing them properly after a collision requires up-to-date training. Amaya's Collision Center at 686 I-45 has it. They're among only 15% of shops to meet the industry's highest training standards as a gold-class business. When you pick a collision repair shop, make the smart choice for your family's safety. Choose gold-class trained repair professionals. Choose Amaya's Collision Center, 686 I-45.
35-0 Huntsville over the Whitehouse Wildcats. Nick Savage here filling in for Carlos Zimmermann inside the Frank's Taco Station broadcast booth. Houston Hardcastle with me up here as well. Justin Hardcastle is our executive producer. Michael Cedillo is our board op back at the KSAM studio on the ones and twos. Caleb Kulak puts foot to ball, sends it on a pooch to the 20-yard line. It's taken from there. It's McLaughlin who tries to reverse field, and he's going to do that. He's at the 35, up to the 40, and out of bounds there after a good return by the senior wide receiver and running back for the Wildcats.
Yeah, a couple good returns here tonight for Whitehouse. Huntsville special teams got to be careful about that. You don't want to get those guys on the outside like McLaughlin was able to do there. Give them a little bit of open space. That always spells danger in the game of football.
Here comes JoJo Adams in this Whitehouse offense. Back to work. No points to show for it tonight. But still some time left for them. 3:20 remaining in the third quarter. As it's a give up the middle. It goes for nothing, or about a yard, I should say, as a Hornet is pushed down at the tail end of that play. No flags, though.
Yeah, a little bit of extracurriculars after the play. No flags thrown.
Adams in the gun. McLaughlin is the one in the backfield to his left. H-back flexed off the right side of the line. 3 receivers in the formation. Here comes Adams rolling out. Winds up, fires right to the teeth of the defense. Intercepted by Kenneth Scott III. He's up and running. Pick 6. And there's a flag late on the play. Might be a block, and it might be coming back. Somebody took their shot at JoJo Adams, the quarterback, on the tail end of that play as he comes up limping.
Yeah, it looks like this one's coming back. Every indication for this is that this is going to be a flag on Huntsville. Interception will stand, but I don't think that touchdown will count. There was most likely an illegal block on JoJo Adams.
Still talking things over here, as that is the 3rd Whitehouse turnover of the night to Huntsville's 1. So the personal foul is targeting. So non-flagrant targeting foul. That's actually the first time I've ever heard targeting called in high school football. But
yeah,
it is a non-flagrant, so that means the penalty was on. Who was that on at the tail end of that? Jarius Singletary. Number 28, I think I heard him say at the tail end of that play. So non-flagrant, so he'll stay in the ball game. But big hit on JoJo Adams, backs the return up. That would have been a pick 6. Now it's back at the Whitehouse 38, and that's where the Huntsville offense will take over, leading 35-0 with 2:41 left to play in the third quarter. Zay Adolph in the gun. It's a give to Jacavion Burks, and Burks tries to turn the corner. He can't get there. He's brought down behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of 2, back to the 40.
Yeah, credit to the Whitehouse defense on that play. Good tackle there by Noah Lindsay, the senior defensive back, able to get into the backfield, not allowing Burks to break any tackles there, bringing him down for a loss of 2. 2nd and long for the Hornets coming up.
And they'll take their time getting set at the line. Burks to Adolph's left. H-back flex off the left side of the line. It's a give to Burks. Burks loses his footing as he tries to drive past the line of scrimmage. He gets back to the original line of scrimmage pretty much at the 38, but nothing more. It'll be 3rd and about 11 is what they'll say.
Yeah, 3rd and long here for Huntsville tonight. And credit, like we've said, credit to the Whitehouse defense. Outside of that big play to Conte, they have really played a lot better game here in the second half, able to limit this explosive Hornet offense that we saw in the first half.
So 3rd and 11, 90 seconds remain in the third quarter. Adolph in the gun. Burks to his right. Adolph will roll to the near sideline, look to take a shot deep. He's got a man wide open in the back of the end zone. Josh Stanley, touchdown, Huntsville. What a toss from the freshman quarterback. His 3rd of the night through the air. It's 41-0 Huntsville.
Wow, and you talk about a throw on the run. Zay Adolph must have had 2, maybe 3 Whitehouse defenders in his face, able to deliver that ball on a dime to Josh Stanley. Beautiful throw to the back of the end zone. Wow, really pretty ball there from the freshman quarterback. I don't think there's any questions about his ability to play this position anymore.
Third passing touchdown of the night for Adolph to go with his one rushing touchdown. His passing touchdowns have all been from 30-plus yards out, a 39-yarder, a 34-yarder, and just now a 38-yard touchdown pitching catch. They got to get this extra point off quick here. They do. Kick is up. Had some late substitutions, but no matter for that special teams unit as Caleb Kulak puts it through the uprights. It's 42-0. That extra point's brought to you by Nelson Amaya's Collision Center. Flag on Whitehouse. It's declined, and the extra point stands. 42-0. A minute 19 left to play here in the third quarter. Come on back on the other side of this break. It's getting fun out here tonight, y'all, at the Hive. This is this is the Hornet Nation Broadcast Network, powered by KSAM Sports.
Hi, folks. Clint Mack here with Wiesner Chevy in Huntsville, and I've got some great news. From now until the end of the year, we are celebrating with our holiday sales event. Take up to $10,500 off the factory MSRP, or take advantage of the 0% financing, and still take $7,250 off the MSRP of the 2024 Chevrolet 1500 Crew Cab trucks in stock. But it's only going to last till the end of the year, so hurry to Wiesner in Huntsville and take advantage of these holiday sales events, or visit us online at wiesnerhuntsville.com.
38-yard pitch and catch from Zay Adolph to Josh Stanley makes it 42-0. That touchdown brought to you by Wiesner of Huntsville, as we are here inside the Amaya's Collision Center. Third quarter, a minute 19 remaining. And again, the Huntsville Hornets look destined for a date with South Oak Cliff next week. Again, crazier things have happened in high school football, but the way this Hornet defense has been playing, you feel good about your chances. Caleb Kulak runs up to the ball. Pooch kick and fair caught at the 30 by Cade Richardson, the senior wide receiver. And here comes the Hornet defense back out onto the field.
And while we have a little bit of a pause in the action, let's go ahead and thank some more of our wonderful sponsors who make this broadcast possible. Advantage Specialties. Advantage Specialties is your one-stop shop for business promotional needs in Huntsville. University Heights Baptist Church, cultivating people who make Jesus known through the lives we live and conversations we have. And Huntsville Independent School District. It's a great day to be a Hornet. We are building champions. Everyone, every day.
By the way, that kickoff was brought to you by Diana K. Burns State Farm Insurance, as it's a 1st and 10 from the Whitehouse 30 for the Wildcats to give to Carter McCullen off the left side, and he's going to pick up about 6 yards, sets up a 2nd and 4 up to the Wildcat 36, under a minute to play here in the third quarter.
And Whitehouse not moving with a lot of urgency right now, letting a lot of clock bleed. It's not over yet. Still an entire quarter of football left to play.
Good to see JoJo Adams back out there after the big hit he suffered. He's going to carry it himself here. Power into the teeth of this defense, but there's Shiloh Jones to meet him. And he's going to pick up just short, maybe enough for the first down. They are going to give him the first down yardage. He needed 4. He got 4.5 maybe. And that ball is placed at the 40-yard line as we're under 30 seconds to play here in the third.
Yeah, and credit to JoJo Adams there on that run. Not afraid to put his head down and get into that Hornet defense after the big hit he suffered on the interception by Scott. Just really playing a hard, gritty football game here tonight.
1st and 10 here as it's a jet sweep from the left to the right for Cade Richardson. And Richardson will gain about 6 yards. That worked out well for the Wildcat offense, as that will be the final play of this third quarter. 12 minutes of football remain here in this bi-district matchup at Huntsville ISD Stadium. It's all Hornets. 42-0 is our score. Come on back for the fourth quarter. This is the Hornet Nation Broadcast Network, brought to you by KSAM Sports.
Suspicion will eat you alive. Burning questions, nagging fears, wondering if your partner is violating your trust. Choose to know the facts. Lone Star Security and Investigations will uncover the answers to your lingering questions. Start today with a free conversation with an experienced investigator. The Lone Star Security and Investigations expert will listen and provide a path to answers and peace of mind. Lone Star Security is your best defense. Start your journey to the truth at LoneStarSecurityTX.com.
42-0 is our score out at Huntsville ISD Stadium. Hornets 42, Wildcats nothing. 12 minutes away from an area round matchup with South Oak Cliff are the Hornets as we begin our Heritage Oak Funeral Home fourth quarter. It'll be a 2nd and 4 from the Whitehouse 46 for the Wildcats. Here's a snap and a trick play here. It's going to be a pass from Cade Richardson, the wide receiver, and it's going to be complete. Man, the Hornets had 2 men there, but going up to high point that one is Lane Hooker, the senior wide receiver. I think the Hornets kind of lost that one in the coverage. A good play design.
Yeah, it looks like the Hornet defender just not able to turn around quick enough to see where the ball was, not wanting to commit a pass interference penalty, just couldn't locate the ball. Hooker able to high point it in the air. First down for Whitehouse.
It was an end around that turned into a pass to for Cade Richardson, as it's 1st and 10 from the Huntsville 30. And here's another misdirection as Richardson carries it once again. He carries it for about 5 yards, sets up 2nd and 5 from the 25.
And some really nice runs here on some misdirections, some motions here for the Whitehouse Wildcats. You know, you kind of wonder where this was in the first half for them. You think maybe the Hornet defense is getting a little bit fatigued after being out there on the field for so long, maybe allowing Whitehouse to get a few yards.
4 down linemen for Huntsville in the 2nd and 5. Man in motion, and someone moved on that Whitehouse line. And I believe we're going to have a false start. Number 50, that's going to be on Jacob Krantz, the senior offensive lineman.
Yeah, good job there by the Huntsville crowd forcing that one, just unable to hear the snap count. You know, this crowd is still, it's pretty full. You know, some people have filed out, but the Huntsville Hornet faithful are still kind of filling out the stadium. But a few of them have filed out, but the fans are still here to stay.
They've liked what they've seen from the first ever playoff game in Huntsville ISD Stadium, as it's a JoJo Adams pass here on 2nd and long. And wow, incomplete. Almost a fantastic catch by Carter McLaughlin. He almost kept those feet in bounds, but JoJo Adams led him a little too much. And it falls incomplete. 3rd and 10 now.
Yeah, just a little bit too much oomph on that ball from Adams. He had McLaughlin there on the sideline, just couldn't get it to him in from an angle that he could keep his feet in bounds, excuse me.
Huntsville crowd gets into it. Music blares. 3rd and 10. As Adams drops back to pass, feels the pressure, steps up in the pocket, fires over the middle, and it will fall incomplete off the hands of Lane Hooker. And it'll be 4th and 10, and obviously down 42-0 here in the 4th. You're going for it, regardless of where you are on the field pretty much at this point.
Yeah, not much of a choice here for Whitehouse. And credit to JoJo on that play. A lot of pressure from the Huntsville D-line, able to step up and deliver a pretty nice ball to Lane Hooker. Hooker just unable to come down with it, and it's going to bring up, like you said, a 4th and long, kind of the last breath here for the Whitehouse offense.
If they want any hope of coming back into this one, they got to convert here and score pretty quickly. On this 4th and 10, it's a deep shot towards the end zone, and it will fall incomplete. Almost intercepted on that far side by Brent Carroll, the junior safety, knocked it down. And that's a turnover on downs. Here comes the Huntsville offense.
We've talked about him all night. Brent Carroll with great coverage there on the outside. JoJo Adams just throws up a ball, a 50-50 ball towards the end zone. Brent Carroll with great coverage, able to turn around, locate the ball, knock it down. That was kind of the last breath of hope for the Whitehouse offense, as Huntsville's going to take over, probably just run the tempo of this game.
Here's Adolph next to him. Trayshawn Brown. Pardon me, that's David Brown in the backfield with him, and Brown gets the carry and shows the speed, man. He looks like he's running 50%, and he's striding to that far sideline. He picks up about 7 on that one, makes it 2nd and short.
Yeah, nice run there by David Brown. You know, we've seen a lot of Burks tonight. We've seen a lot of Trayshawn Brown, but now David Brown able to check into that game. That three-headed monster Huntsville has in the backfield. Really, the Whitehouse defense has felt that in full effect tonight. They just cannot stop whoever is in the Huntsville backfield.
Jabri Washington, Hunter Lorenz, and Marcus Lewis, the wide receivers. Well, it's Jarius Singletary, the tight end, flexed off the left side of the line. David Brown in the backfield with Zay Adolph. It's a carry to Brown. Brown looking for the left side, and he finds it. He's at the 50-45, dropped out of bounds there. And a great run there by David Brown with his first 2 carries making an impact.
Yeah, great run there by David Brown, just able to get outside, able to make a couple guys miss, able to just get upfield, get that breakaway speed. Nice run there. Going to give Huntsville the ball in Whitehouse territory.
As a Moke and Moke attorneys at law first down. Had a lot of those tonight. As here goes Huntsville taking their time here, 10 on the play clock, and they get set at the line. David Brown to the left of Adolph. Here's the snap. Give to David Brown once again. Brown will go up the middle for a gain of about 3.
Yeah, not much on the ground there for Brown. Just unable to find those holes that he's been kind of seeing on these past few runs. Just a short little gain there. Going to bring up 2nd and about 8 for the Huntsville Hornets.
Into Whitehouse territory. They've spent a lot of time there tonight. As the clock continues to tick down. 15 left on the play clock as Adolph gets set. David Brown still out there to his right. 5 on the play clock now. Here's the snap. Give to David Brown up the middle, and Brown churns those legs forward and gets some help from his offensive line as he was stopped after a gain of about 7, but they push him forward for an extra 10. Another Moke and Moke attorneys at law, first down.
Yeah, great run there by Brown. Just able to churn those legs, get a big push from his offensive line, bring up a first down here. Huntsville moving closer towards the Whitehouse end zone.
And the Hornets looking for a long, drawn-out drive more than anything, and they're doing a good job of accomplishing that here. It's 42-0, 8 minutes to play in the 4th quarter. All Hornets so far in this one. Zay Adolph in the shotgun. And now Jacavian Burks with a carry. He goes up the middle, but is met immediately by this Whitehouse defensive line. And he gains nothing. It'll be 2nd and 10.
Yeah, credit there to the Whitehouse defensive line, able to stop them there. Bring up a 2nd and long here for the Huntsville Hornets.
Burks is going to check out of the ball game. So David Brown comes back in. The receivers out there right now, Jabri Washington, Marcus Lewis, and on that far side, Hunter Lorenz. Shotgun formation for the Hornets. Zay Adolph in the gun. It's a give to David Brown, it's a give to David Brown on the left side, and he stumbles behind the line of scrimmage. He's going to lose a yard or 2. So that'll back up the Hornets a few yards, back to the 35. And it will be 3rd, about 13 from there, as we approach the halfway point here in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, Huntsville probably just going to keep running the clock. I mean, there's only 6 minutes, 45 seconds here left in the game. Just probably going to run out the clock as much as possible. Maybe you air it out with Adolph here, but more than likely you might see a run here from head coach Rodney Southern.
Imagine maybe setting up a screenplay as well. 3 receivers in the formation. Tight end flexed off the right side of the line. David Burks in the gun with Zay Adolph. Adolph is going to drop back to pass, takes a deep shot over the middle, and the flags fly, as indeed they should. As Jabri Washington was attempting to break free, Cameron Williams, a freshman back, grabbed the jersey, and that's going to be a first down on the penalty there.
Yeah, and unlike the NFL, it's not a spot foul. It's just a 15-yard penalty in high school football. It's going to give the Hornets a first down. get them close, maybe a little bit outside of the red zone, almost. Let's see where they spot this, right on the 20-yard line.
It's going to put them inside the Murray Insurance and Financial Services red zone. 1st and 10 for the Hornets. Adolph in the gun. David Brown to his left. Here's the give to Brown. Brown tries to bounce it outside, but he goes down after he loses about a yard. It'll be 2nd and 11 from the 21.
Yeah, not much going there for David Brown there. Whitehouse's defense has looked kind of like Huntsville's defense did in that first half, just really swarming to the ball right now.
Halfway through this 4th quarter, 42-0 is our score. Hornets in front of the Wildcats. 2nd and 11 play coming up from the Wildcat 21. Adolph gives up the middle to Jacavian Burks, and Burks, man, he's run just as effectively as Trayshawn Brown has tonight. Might not show up in the stat sheet, but every carry has been powerful for him. He gains about 5 on that one, up to the 16. It'll be 3rd and 6 from there.
Yeah, and you know, he's just been really powerful running tonight. Not exactly the same type of running back as Trayshawn Brown, but just able to really get those powerful runs in there on those short yardage situations. Burks has had a really good night tonight.
So 3rd and 6 from the Wildcat 16 is another give to David Brown, pardon me. He has enough for a Moke and Moke first down. He's inside the 10 and the 5. Mark him at the 4. And the Huntsville Hornets are knocking on the door once again.
Man, just continuing to run this clock. It just felt like Huntsville has had the ball most of this 4th quarter, and they really have outside of that Whitehouse possession. And Huntsville just really controlling the tempo of this game, trying to run out the clock, come out of here with a big win, first win in the home stadium, get to the next round.
1st and goal with 4:30 left here in the 4th quarter. It's going to be a give up the middle to Brown, and Brown is met at the line. He can't get anything. It'll be 2nd and goal, and again, if you're the Hornets, you don't hate that because you get to burn about 40 more seconds.
Right? Yeah, just continue running that clock, come out of here with a big win. You don't want anything crazy to happen. You don't want to, you know, kind of leave a bad taste in your mouth at the end of this game. Just run the clock out, be smart, don't do anything crazy.
Big test awaits next week. South Oak Cliff on the other side of this one in the area round. They won last night 52-14 as the defending state champ Bears await the Huntsville Hornets. If this score holds with 3:40 left to play, I think 42-0 will probably end up holding as Zay Adolph moves David Brown from his left to his right. Here's a snap. It's a give up the middle to Brown. Brown tries to bounce it outside, but is spun down at the line of scrimmage once again, and more time will begin to run.
Yeah, and again, if you're Huntsville, you don't mind taking that TFL because, again, you get to milk more time off the clock. They're gonna milk this under 3 minutes to about, let's say 2 minutes, 40-something seconds left, and just continue to run that clock down. Wouldn't even be surprised if maybe the Huntsville Hornets keep the offense out on 4th down.
And Huntsville took over this drive with about 7 minutes remaining in the 4th, so they've done an excellent textbook job of winding down the clock here. As it's 3rd and goal for the Hornets. It's going to be a run to the left on the motion. It was Marcus Lewis who got the carry. He gets up to the 5, but not into the end zone. It'll be 4th and goal from there as we're under 2.5 minutes to play. And here comes the field goal unit. Caleb Kulak will get a chance to punch one through. This looks to be about a 22-yard attempt from the left hash. Kicking towards the field house out here at Huntsville ISD Stadium, or from right to left on your radio dial. No wind to speak of out there on the field as clock will tick under 2 minutes to play here on this attempt. Snap is good, hold is good, kick is up and through to make it 45-0. The 22-yarder from Caleb Kulak is true. That's brought to you by Nelson Amaya's Collision Center. We'll head to one more break with 1:58 left to play in this one. It's 45-0, all Huntsville. This is the Hornet Nation Broadcast Network, powered by KSAM Sports.
As we approach the holiday season, the best gift you can give a loved one is peace of mind. Peace of mind by ensuring your final arrangements have been handled. I'm Andy Graves with Heritage Oak Funeral Home in Huntsville. The holidays are all about family and friends, making joyous memories and being together. Give yourself and your family the gift of peace of mind, knowing that your final arrangements have been handled. Heritage Oak Funeral Home, where heritage meets home, your hometown funeral home.
Hi, I'm Michael Murray with Murray Insurance and Financial Services. Our family agency has been representing the Huntsville and Walker County area since the 1930s. We can help you prepare for your future with your financial planning needs, along with the unexpected with life, health, long-term care, and disability insurance needs. Please give us a call at 1-800-695-LIFE. Our email is mike@murrayservices.net. Eat 'em up, cat.
Back out at Huntsville ISD Stadium, the kickoff is presented to you by Diana K. Barnes State Farm Insurance, and it's 45-0 Hornets over the Wildcats, 1:50 left to play, and that's where the Wildcats will most likely have their final possession of the night. We'll see what they do here, as the odds are almost insurmountable. As a reminder, coming up is the AB2 Self-Storage post-game show. Nick Savage, Houston Hardcastle here with you inside the Frank's Taco Station broadcast booth. As JoJo Adams, a sophomore quarterback for Whitehouse, put up a good fight tonight. Really impressive effort by the young QB. He's got a lot to build on as he gives it to Carter McLaughlin, who will take it left side. McLaughlin tripped up at the 30 as he gains about 6, and the clock rolls.
Yeah, good run there by Whitehouse. Just able to get outside there, outside the numbers, get a nice gain on first down. Second and manageable here for their offense. If they want to do anything, they're going to have to move a little bit quicker than they are right now.
Kenny Lewis is going to check into the ball game. Drake Jackson checks out, as we're going to be about at a minute once this football is snapped. Whitehouse in no hurry to snap this football. JoJo Adams in the gun. McLaughlin to his left in the backfield. It's a give to McLaughlin up the middle. He'll have first down yardage after a gain of about 6. It'll be a fresh set of downs for the Wildcats, but once this clock starts rolling, about 2 more plays, and the Huntsville Hornets will be moving on to the area around to face off with the defending champ South Oak Cliff. At a time and place to be determined. As here comes one final snap. It's a give to McLaughlin up the middle. He's met at the line of scrimmage, and that will about do it.
See if Whitehouse runs another play here. Probably not. Just walk out of here. You don't want to cause an unnecessary injury or anything like that. You just kind of want to get off the field here.
Well, kind of like that, as there's a Whitehouse lineman down with 27 seconds remaining. 45-0 is our score. He'll be tended to. As again, not the way you want to end it. If you're Whitehouse, you just want to get out of here with everybody healthy. But I believe once the injury is cleared up, this clock will start rolling. And again, Whitehouse does. Okay, they're going to run off 10 seconds, so they do not have to run a play, as the play clock will be at 25, 17 on the game clock. And yeah, nobody coming back onto the field. This clock will start rolling. And that will do it, folks. The Huntsville Hornets dominate in the bi-district round against the Whitehouse Wildcats. They win it 45-0. On the back of Zay Adolph, Trayshawn Brown, and an explosive offensive performance. We'll take a quick break, and on the other side, you'll hear the AB Squared self-storage post-game show. Again, the final score out at Huntsville ISD Stadium. Huntsville 45, Whitehouse 0. This is the Hornet Nation Broadcast Network powered by KSAM Sports.
Your brand is your business. Shop local with Advantage Specialties, where you will get service with a personal touch. Hello, I'm Stephanie Pitts, owner and operator of Advantage Specialties. Advantage Specialties offers screen printing and embroidery on site. Let Advantage Specialties get you ready for your next event with cups, apparel, caps, pins, and everything else you could need. Go to AdvantageSpecialties.com or call our team at 936-291-3222 to start that order now. Sting 'em Hornets!
Hi, folks. Clint back here with Wiesner Buick GMC in Huntsville. And I've got great news. From now till the end of the year, we are celebrating with our holiday sales event. Take up to $10,500 off the factory MSRP, or take advantage of 0% and still take $7,250 off the factory MSRP on select 2024 GMC half-ton crew cab trucks in stock. But it's only going to last till the end of the year, so hurry down to Wiesner in Huntsville and take advantage of these holiday sales event, or visit us online at WiesnerHuntsville.com.
Nelson Amaya's Collision has been proudly serving Walker County since 1999. Within walking distance from Sam Houston State University, they pride themselves in offering their services to you for your students to get their vehicle back to pre-loss condition and back on the road. Come see Nelson Amaya's Collision off Sycamore Avenue for all your automotive paint and body needs. That's Nelson Amaya's Collision, a proud supporter of Hornet football. Call them at 936-439-4545.
Hi, folks. Clay back here with Wiesner Cadillac in Huntsville. And I've got some great news. From now till the end of the year, we are celebrating with our holiday sales event. Take up to $9,000 off the factory MSRP of a 2024 Cadillac Escalade in stock, or take $6,500 off the MSRP of a 2024 Cadillac XT6. But it's only going to last till the end of the year, so hurry to Wiesner Cadillac in Huntsville and take advantage of these holiday sales events, or visit us online at WiesnerCadillac.com.
This is BJ McMichael, and I am a proud 1993 Hornet graduate and 1998 Bearcat graduate. I am also the Minister of Students and Outreach at University Heights Baptist Church. Here at University Heights, we are connected to Christ and the community. We also offer small groups and activities for every age and stage. Be sure to check us out online at uhbc.net or download our UHBC app in the Apple or Android store today. Sting 'em Hornets!
I'm Jerry Larson at Reliable Auto Parts, your auto parts plus store in Huntsville, Texas. Having great products, excellent quality, and outstanding prices. This is what you can expect from Reliable Parts, where you can purchase all your car care products, maintenance supplies, and auto parts. Our services and in-house store offerings are designed to keep your vehicle and motorized machine in proper working condition. Reliable Parts, your auto parts store, 1011 11th Street, Huntsville, 295-5747.
Hi, this is Devin Blakely with Community Service Credit Union. With our members constantly on the go, CSU is dedicated to making banking as safe and as easy as possible. Wherever life takes you, our nearest branch is right in your pocket with the CSU mobile app. You can check account balances, pay bills, and even make check deposits with the CSU mobile app. You can also monitor your credit score with CreditSense. CSU Mobile is available in the App Store and Google Play. Community Service Credit Union, member of NCUA.
Wiesner Chevrolet in Huntsville has immediate openings for service technicians, body shop, and sales consultants. Service technicians that are ASC certified are preferred but not required. Looking for a great career? Wiesner Huntsville is looking for service technicians, body shop, and sales consultants, and complete benefits are included. So go by today and apply. Take exit 116 on I-45 North and go past 11th Street in Huntsville. Wiesner Chevrolet in Huntsville is hiring.
Welcome to the Huntsville Hornets High School Football Postgame Show, sponsored by AB Squared Self-Storage. With the game recap, here's Carlos Zimmermann, Brian Adams, and Houston Hardcastle.
And welcome into the AB2 Self-Storage post-game show. Nick Savage filling in for Carlos Zimmermann here tonight, and alongside me is Houston Hardcastle here inside the Frank's Tacos Station broadcast booth. The Huntsville Hornets advance to the area round here in the 5A Division II Texas High School Football Playoffs with a 45-0 win over the Whitehouse Wildcats, and it was all Wildcats from the jump. And on the opening possession for Huntsville, it was a 17-yard touchdown run from Trayshawn Brown, who got the scoring going early, I should say. Later on in that first quarter, Zay Adolph hit his first touchdown pass of the night to Savion Conte, the senior. A 39-yard strike made it 13-0. In the second quarter, a 1-yard touchdown run on a goal line situation made it 21-0. A 2-point conversion was good from the Hornets. And then a 1-yard touchdown run later on in that second quarter from Trayshawn Brown, his second score of the night, made it 28-0 at the halftime break. In the third quarter, a 34-yard touchdown pass and a 38-yard touchdown pass from Zay Adolph really blew the doors open on this one to make it 42-0 going into the fourth. The two receivers on the receiving ends of those two passes, Conte on the end of the 34-yarder, and it was Josh Stanley on the end of the 38-yarder. And finally, in the fourth quarter, only score on that one, it was at the end of a about 6-7 minute drive from the Huntsville Hornets, who really, took this one to the very end. A 22-yard field goal from Caleb Kulak to make it 45-0, and that's where things stood. Huntsville wins the turnover battle. They only turned it over once. Whitehouse turns it over 3 times, but that really isn't the difference of the ball game there, Houston. The difference being this, offense and defensive performance from Huntsville. I really don't know who to single out.
Yeah, and it was just complete dominations on both sides of the Huntsville Hornets tonight. I mean, you could give the nod to really anybody. I think the good thing tonight is while there are certain players of the game, there's not anyone you can really tip your hat to. Tonight was just a total team effort, just total domination by the Huntsville Hornets. And, they get out of – this is a complete opposite of what happened last year in Texas City, where it ended 10-7. Hornets obviously coming out 45-0, a little bit different than their bi-district matchup last year against Texas City. I remember going to that one, seeing that one live, running the camera back when I used to be camera operator, and just a complete turnaround in this first round.
We'll hit a break here inside the AB2 Self-Storage post-game show. On the other side, we'll get into our Wiesner of Huntsville Player of the Game. Got a lot to choose from here, Houston, so we'll talk about that and more on the other side. This is the Hornet Nation Broadcast Network, powered by KSAM Sports. The Hornets celebrate with the bi-district championship trophy at the 25-yard line right in front of the Hornet bench. And the faithful here in the stands have stuck around to take in that celebration as the Hornets are moving on to the area round in back-to-back years. But they have a big test in front of them. We'll talk about that more in the next segment here inside the AB Squared Self-Storage post-game show. Nick Savage filling in for Carlos Zimmermann. Houston Hardcastle is here with me in Houston. Who are we going to pick for our Wiesner of Huntsville Player of the Game? A lot of choices.
I think the obvious choice tonight is you got to give it to Trayshawn Brown. I mean, Trayshawn Brown was all over the field tonight. He really helped Huntsville control the tempo of this game, had a couple big runs there as well, had that 17-yard touchdown in the first quarter and that 1-yard touchdown run in the second quarter. And he just really helped Huntsville keep control of this game. Anytime you can run the ball, anytime a team can effectively run the ball, milk that clock, get out of here with a big win, you got to give them the nod for player of the game, as we can see him down there on the sideline getting all the love from his teammates. Trayshawn just played an incredible game, but don't just think it was just Trayshawn tonight. There's a couple guys on the offense. Savion Conte, got to give a big shout-out to the freshman quarterback, Zay Adolph, for filling in Austin Taylor's shoes. Those are some big shoes to fill, and Adolph really filled them tonight. I don't think there's any question about the confidence that this coaching staff and team has in him anymore.
Savion Conte, the senior wide receiver, with 2 touchdown catches, one from 39 yards out, one from 38 yards out. And Zay Adolph, the freshman quarterback, 4 total touchdowns, 3 passing, 1 rushing. So impressive performance by this offense altogether. But, again, the Wiesner of Huntsville player of the game is Trayshawn Brown. We'll hit another break, and on the other side, we'll look ahead to next week. Area round South Oak Cliff. Big test coming for the Hornets. This is the Hornet Nation Broadcast Network, powered by KSAM Sports. Back inside the Frank's Taco Station broadcast booth here inside the AB Squared Self-Storage post-game show out at Huntsville ISD Stadium. The Hornets win 45-0 over the Whitehouse Wildcats. And Houston, let's look ahead to next week. The area round, big test, about as big as they come. Looks like they are ready for the South Oak Cliff Bears, the defending state champions. What are your initial thoughts on the matchup? Big, again, can't stress it enough, big test coming for the Hornets.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And they are currently ranked number 3 according to Max Preps in 5A Division II. So that's going to be, I mean, just a top 3 team in the 5A D2. It's going to be a big test, and obviously South Oak Cliff is 8-2 on the season, but you look at those 2 games that they lost, and they were to, obviously, Duncanville and North Shore. Yeah. So those 2 losses are kind of just, they almost don't even exist. Every other game, they pretty much dominated. They beat Spruce 62-0. They beat Adamson 50-0. They beat Hillcrest 36-0. They beat Jefferson 49-0, and then they just beat Terrell 52-14. So they have been pretty dominant all season. So Huntsville's going to have a really big test next week, especially with a freshman quarterback. Even though Zay Adolph showed out tonight, everyone's going to have, every single team in the scouting report, they're going to have a target on his back and say, hey, this kid is a freshman. We need to get at him. We need to fluster him. But Adolph really stepped up tonight. And if he can continue to step it up, the South Oak Cliff game next week is going to be a good one.
Duncanville and North Shore pretty much play each other in the 6A championship game like every year. So, yeah, those 2 losses, can't ding them for that. Basically look at them like they're an undefeated team, which they pretty much are. But the Hornets, battle-tested. I'm sure Coach Rodney Southern will challenge these kids down there, and they'll be ready to rock come next week. Again, time and place still to be determined. Keep it posted on Twitter and Facebook, all that good stuff. You'll get all the information you need. And, of course, we'll be here with you. I will be back with you once again. Carlos Zimmermann out dealing with some Sam Houston duties. So me and Houston will be back with y'all next week on the KSAM Sports Network to bring you the game wherever it may be. So we look forward to that. Thank y'all again so much for listening in and putting up with me. I know you're used to Carlos, so I appreciate y'all once again for listening in. Again, before we sign off, I should say this broadcast has been copyrighted for the private use of our audience. Any other use of this broadcast without the express written consent of 101.7 KSAM and Huntsville High School Athletics is strictly prohibited. The executive producer of the Hornet Nation Broadcast Network is Justin Hardcastle. Studio operations by KSAM and studio producer Michael Cedillo. For Houston Hardcastle and the entire Hornet Nation broadcast crew, my name is Nick Savage. The final score is Hornets 45, Wildcats nothing. This is the Hornet Nation Broadcast Network powered by KSAM Sports.